Yeah, my computer doesn't like Hero Forge.
It doesn't like Hero Forge.
No, I can hear my hard drive starts to spin.
Well, you take it easy on the hard drive today, my friend. Welcome back to the Crazy Crafter, everyone. My name is Colin Pressey, and I am the Crazy Crafter. I am joined by two very amazing, wonderful people on the stream today. One who's a repeat guest, and one who is a first-time guest, long-time listener and watcher, Amy Root. Edgar Landa, welcome back to the stream, Edgar, and welcome to the stream, Amy Root.
Thank you.
Excited to be back.
Yay!
I'm a recurring, you could say.
Yeah, you're recurring now. We'll put it in the contract. You're recurring. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, do I get residuals for every time someone watches this?
Yeah, residuals. Yep. I swear they're in the mail. They're in the mail. They're on their way.
Solid.
Don't worry about it. They'll get there. If it takes a little longer, it's because it's frozen tundra where you are, and it takes a little bit longer to get the sled through the snow.
Horse and buggy. Sled mail to me.
That's right. Well, welcome everyone else out there in the stream today. Thanks for joining us. Who do we got out there? We've got Tina Martins, who is our guest this week on the Crazy Crafter Sundays tutorial live stream. Tina Martins is an amazing crafter, Edgar. You'll have to, I'll send you some pictures. I don't know if you're not on Discord, Edgar, you should create a Discord just to join the Crazy Crafter Discord and see all the insane work that everyone posts, and you'll be like,
yeah,
what?
I am on Discord. I'm with what the kids are doing nowadays, so I have the Discord and TikTok.
I'm glad you're with what the kids are doing, because I'm not.
My girlfriend called it the other day the Tic Tac.
The Tic Tac. The Tic Tac. We're with the Tic Tac. Anyway, Tina's on the stream this Sunday. We're very excited to have Tina. Tina Martins, welcome out there in the stream.
For it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Night Train is out there. Carl from Carl Makes Stuff. Yeah, right? Isn't it that's a dope name. Elston from Elston Nation, who is going to be on the following week and do on Saturday the 20th, we're going to do some mini painting. And if you guys are into and want to improve your mini painting skills, that's going to be a great stream to tune in. Elston's a fantastic person and a marvelous painter. He's really he does a lot of Warhammer painting, and he is I've got questions about batch painting for Elston, so I'm looking forward to picking his brain and hanging out with him on Saturday the 20th. And then Zane from Zane Morgan Crafts. Howdy out there, Zane. What STLs and terrain are you designing today is my question. And of course we've got Michael Patterson from Nat One Videos out there. Hello, my friend. Good to see you as always. Oh, and who's this? Look at this. You're in the chat too, Amy Root. Look at that. You're all over the place.
I'm on it.
There we go.
I'm always so impressed by like Michael and Daniel going, oh, and keeping up with us. So I thought I'd do my best to keep up with them. I don't have gremlins, but
well, I think you'll do just fine. You guys will do just fine. And as long as we keep Edgar's time limited on Hero Forge, it likes to spin the computer pretty hard. It sounds like my computer when I first started streaming. Like, I would literally, everyone would make the joke that my hamsters were falling off the wheel, and it's true. I tried to make them haul off.
Oh no!
Yeah, little hamsters, poor little hamsters.
I literally last semester or last in the fall, I literally burnt the hard drive in my laptop. I burnt it out.
Oh,
because I was trying to run an OBS, show, and OBS just killed my computer.
Yep. OBS is good for that. OBS is good for killing it. Like, if you're like, I've got a decent computer, run OBS and try to stream something, and then you'll see if you got, like, my old computer was maximizing like 97% of the CPU processing power.
Yep.
That's bad for everyone out there that isn't familiar. Like, that's bad. It should not be 97%.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. I don't know how I did the stream for the first like few months. It was wild and crazy. I know how I did it. I had really awesome friends that helped me figure it out. That's how I did that stream. Well, if you guys aren't Edgar, we know. What's cool about today? I'm really excited to have both of you on the stream because, you know, I get to hang out with some really cool friends. And B, some two very talented colleagues that I admire both as teachers, artists, directors, choreographers in Edgar and Amy. So I'm excited to chat with you guys today a little bit about the next Fights on Foam diorama series. We've done Princess Bride so far, which was cool. We did Kill Bill, and that was when Edgar, you came on the first episode for that when we were designing and trying to work on the bride and figure that out. I went with a lot of those specs that you came up with in the costume and the way you designed her, Edgar, that ended up on the bride. And I think she turned out great. So that was super helpful.
Once again, I get a percentage of that royalty, right, when you sell it?
I ain't selling that one. That one's staying right here. Colin, that one's staying here.
I'm all about the Benjamins, but they're wee and have blonde hair that you can ruffle.
What do you mean wee? He is not wee. He is anything but wee now. He is a big kid.
I do have to say, Colin, can I make a comment on watching you do the Kill Bill diorama?
Yeah.
That was so cool. And I was just hella impressed by you doing 88 minis like that. That was just absolutely nuts. And then you made my heart absolutely stop when you got to the part where you were gluing them on and you didn't like dot out where they would go ahead of time or anything. You were just like, I'm going for it. And I'm like, we are not the same person.
I mean, just so you know, I was definitely, I had looked at that picture and I had kind of messed with where I was putting them before, like figuring out a little bit. But as happens on the stream, when I got to that point, I was like, it was a little bit, I always try not to let the pressure of time be a thing. But it is because I don't want to have everyone sit here for an extra 15 minutes while I meticulously place everything. So I do try to do a little bit of prep.
We were already sitting here.
I know, but it is something that I was just like, I had an idea of the shape. I wanted, if I could go back, it's a little bit square around the diorama and the way they got positioned. They have a little bit of evenness to it, but in the image from the movie, it's a complete circle with a few smattering around the edges. It came out pretty close. But I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate the kind words. That was a fun one to build, and this next one should be really fun to build. I'm gonna throw it up in the Discord. I'll throw it up in the share your works is where I guess I'll put. Oh no, I'll put it in random chatter. It's up in the Discord. The next kind of scene that I'm gonna recreate and go with here. You lost your camera? Well, we still Wile E. Coyote. You win, Edgar, for best Zoom setup, which is the Wile E. Coyote business card. That wins. We have you back now.
I have to agree with you on that one because Wiley is the man.
Wiley is hilarious. One of my those are my favorite cartoons growing up. The Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner for sure. Yeah. Anyway, so the next Fights on Foam series is the Duelists, right? Amy suggested Kill Bill. I think a lot of you suggested Kill Bill out there originally. And I think it may have been Amy in the chat that actually suggested Kill Bill. But you also suggested this particular shot in this image from the first duel in the Duelists. If you guys aren't familiar, that's another thing I'm curious for you all out there. Have you seen Ridley Scott's first movie, The Duelist, from 1977?
Wow.
Stars, I know, right? Stars.
That is his first movie.
It's his first movie. Keith Carradine and Harvey Keitel. It's so interesting too. I'm just now thinking. I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but we were talking about Rob Roy. We were all chatting Smallsword beforehand, and I'm just remembering what Bill Hobbs did both movies. He did The Duelists and Rob Roy. Anyway. Digressing back to the Duelist, Ridley Scott's first movie. It's one of my favorite films that features sword choreography. Just the movie is shot beautifully. I think it's one of the most beautiful films I've seen from that era. Like, I think of Barry Lyndon, I think of I think of the cinematography from this movie. It's like every shot is a painting. In the link for this description, guys, I put the first scene from The Duelists. It's not the best quality in the world. It's a link from some other YouTube site, but it does have the first duel, and you get a chance to see the choreography. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check out that first scene. There's no spoiler alerts, but basically the premise of the entire movie is two officers from Napoleon's army fight a series of duels, and this is the inciting incident for the whole movie, where Harvey Keitel's character, who's kind of a hothead within Napoleon's army, fights. I believe this is like a local magistrate or someone related to the
his honor or something.
Well, right, and he challenges him to a duel, and he kills this. Spoiler alert! Sorry, if you haven't seen it. I mean, it does.
Don't watch this movie you haven't seen, but also let me tell you who dies.
It doesn't matter. It's the first scene, and I posted it on there. It's not a spoiler alert. Anyway, Harvey Keitel may or may not kill this guy in the opening duel. He does, but
I don't know. He's the star of the movie. Who knows?
Who knows? Anyway, he definitely you get a chance to see his skill set, and I don't know, as far as like the when we as fight directors and as teachers, we always talk about acting the fight and performing the fight. And I think this film is chock full of wonderful duels that utilize different weapons, everything from Smallsword to sabers to there's a pistol duel in it. But there's a lot of Smallsword fights in this film, and it's not one that gets featured all the time on film. So I think this imagery that Amy suggested from that I put up in the Discord, I love the pose of Harvey Keitel leaning back with his hand up in the guard and trying to find that opening. He's really at this stage kind of just messing with the other dude. So I'm excited about this movie. I want to hear back from Edgar and Amy. Your thoughts on The Duelists and what your take on this movie is. Like, when did you first see this movie?
Oh, I don't know, 15 years ago, okay. 20 years ago. But you know what? I just want to say and correct me if I'm wrong. I saw it like 3 or 4 years ago again. Part of what's beautiful, the cinematography in it is, like you said, like a painting, right? Each scene is like a painting.
Yeah.
An epic painting with like the figures sometimes very small. So it's like the landscape that you're seeing, it kind of gives it the context, right? But correct me if I'm wrong, is there little to no soundtrack playing underneath those scenes?
Oh.
I want to say there's little to no soundtrack, which I think, if I remember correctly, was part of what was so awesome, because it just let the painting and the action speak for itself. And part of that was just hearing the natural noises, the birds or the dawn. And there was a quietness to some of these fights that I thought was really, especially that first one. And there's one later on when they're in this big field and it's, the fog's rolling in and it's just, there's no sound except the natural sounds.
Yeah, it's the sounds of them like practicing. Like, I think like Keith Carradine's character, it's the first duel I think that he and Harvey Keitel fight. That takes place. He's just practicing with like one of his buddies, and you just hear the practicing and, like you said, all the birds. I haven't even thought about that. Like, I think you're right, Edgar. I don't think there is any underscore. There's no music underscoring it. It's just,
I don't think there is.
Just the images.
There might be in other ones, but I know there isn't in the like fight. I'm like 90% sure. I haven't taught class for a year, so I haven't used the clips for a year, but I'm pretty sure the fights, for sure, you can hear them breathing and on all the like ambient sounds of them fighting. That's pretty neat to them.
As I'm thinking back to it, because I just watched the clip the other day when I created the stream for YouTube, there is music at the very end of this first scene, but only after the guy Harvey Keitel is fighting tries the disarm, and from that moment on, there's it's like this high pitch, but it's like a single note of like a violin string. It's nothing. It's used more of, and it's not. I mean, it is underscored, but it's not. It's definitely not there throughout the whole thing. That's the only thing I can remember from that moment.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I know that usually I tell my students, like, hey, watch the movie if you have the time, but if you don't, just watch the fights because it's really long.
Yeah.
Like, it's a beautiful film, but sometimes you're like, we get it, revenge.
Right?
like, come on now. I could watch Antonio Banderas be Zorro and Catherine Zeta-Jones. I could watch Catherine Zeta-Jones in that outfit and just be like, yes, please. Like, I don't...
Right. It definitely is a little bit 1977 in the sense that it sure takes its time, doesn't it?
It sure takes its time. It has not quite a Gone with the Wind situation happening.
Yeah.
But it does sometimes get a little like, we get it, you hate him.
I don't remember Keith Carradine standing in the field going, tomorrow is another day. I saw...
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Stab.
Pokey poke. I saw Zane's post or comment in the chats there about, Amy gets preferences. I mean... I have known her for 14 years. She has been. That's
just quality suggestions.
It is quality suggestions. It's also a little bit. I'm going to tell you what inspired my decision for this, because I want to try and incorporate it. I don't know if I want to have you send it to me because you're making all these beautiful things, but I was inspired by Amy's recent builds. Oh, you did the Colin thing where they were blurry.
I'm trying to continue to work on these tiny things while you're talking because I don't have gremlins and I'm like concerned that you're gonna be like, show us what you did.
I am gonna show. Please show us what you've been working on. Do it. Oh my! Look at him right there. Oh, Amy, those are amazing. So.
Can you pull one out? I want to see what happens if you pull one.
Hold
of
on,
those
ready?
out.
Hold on, wait for it. Wait, pull it out. Wait. Take your time. Pull one out whenever you're ready. Pull it out. Shing. There you go.
Look at that.
Oh my
ridiculous.
gosh! Look at that thing. Oh, look at that black and gold wrap and the side ring. Show the side ring. The side ring is amazing.
You guys are like, shut up. I'm like, I can't see what this looks like.
Those are perfect. God. Those are so
you gotta
cool.
get some Star Wars figures and outfit them with these swords.
That would be cool too. Well, these swords are absolutely redonkulous, Amy. And I know we had talked about. I know I certainly had mentioned and talked about. It's so pretty. That looks so good. I love that.
I'm just waiting for Tina in the chat to appreciate my Insta hand.
Your Insta hand? Oh yeah, it is impressive. I certainly could use the Insta hand a little bit more on this stream, huh? I mean, truly, I need to have a soul camera eventually set up to just showcase it. So it's like, boop, here it is, and it's like focused in on tiny things.
These are so tiny.
Those are tiny.
You don't have multiple cameras set up, Colin?
I do, but I have one camera that you guys see me on Zoom that's dedicated just so you guys can see me, right? I have one camera for the stream that focuses on me. That's my DSLR, and then I have a high def webcam that I use for the crafting. Ideally, in a perfect world, I upgrade that high def webcam to something baller, but I gotta wait. I gotta wait. I gotta wait on that. I gotta wait till maybe I'm till we're not till we have more than just a class a semester before I can maybe afford to upgrade that and be working that gig life that we all miss,
right.
and dearly support our living. Anyway,
I want it noted that Night Terrain called me Sword Queen, and I'm not mad about it.
Whoa, I'm not even looking at that. Sword Queen, is that what you did? Night Terrain, Sword Queen. You know not what you do. It's true though. It definitely Sword Queen. I think that these little swords were a big part of my inspiration to choose this film, Amy, and like being able to try to recreate these. So the minis that I make, I'm not going to put swords in their hands. I'm going to make the swords. So now that's not too bad because I think both of these swords in the first scene are small swords, and they're I don't think I have to do anything necessarily fancy for the hilts because they're just like a clamshell or a little oval disc guard for the sword.
Colin, why don't you just order some from Amy and have her send you a couple of small swords?
I mean,
I was gonna say
the
first one I ever. Oh, sorry guys.
Look at that.
The first one I ever made was just a tiny little
Hold on.
single.
Hold on. Leave it up there, Amy. Leave it up there. I gotta do this. I have a thing. Boom. We can see the thing. I'm featuring it now. Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that.
This is the first one I ever made, and you can tell because on the underside, I don't know if you can see the just excessive amount of super glue that happened.
I mean, it's very hard to tell even that close up with the Insta-hand.
If you're in person, you can see you can even see the super glue on the curve thing. Because what happened was when you twist the wire, you can only twist it so much and bend it before it starts to weaken at points. So if you're not sure what the plan is, if you're not going boldly forth with your idea and you're kind of waffling about it, it just snaps right off or it breaks. So you might have this really intricate thing that you've set up where I try to use not too much glue and just add wire on top of wire. So basically the only thing I'm gluing is the cup hilt, if there's a cup hilt rapier. That's pretty much the only thing that I'm gluing, or the grip. Because when you're trying to bend and the grip isn't glued to the needle, it slides up and down while you're bending and makes everything a million times harder. But on the first one, when I did it, I wanted to do something intricate, and I bent it so much that it just snapped right off, and then I dropped a bunch of F-bombs. And then, or Tina should type the word that she taught me in the chat. I'll try to read it later. Maybe. I don't know. Is this rated for kids, this stream?
It's not rated for kids. You're all right.
That's
but
good.
Really, but the real question is, how much of a tag do you have on that?
So this is 1
Maybe
inch.
we need to explain the tag to the viewers at some point.
Yeah. So let's use a more simple. I mean, this if you want a sword lesson, I guess.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at this right here, to the absolute, oh gosh, is it right for you? I'm not sure. The button of the pin. Ooh, come on, baby. I know you just want to look at my beautiful face, but right now we're gonna look at swords.
Right now we're looking at beautiful swords, camera. Get with it.
I might have to pick something that has more.
Oh, there it is, right there.
So the button, that's the pommel. Some of you might know the round button at the end. And then the wire wrapping around is where the tang would be. And on a lot of swords, they either if they weld it where the cross guard is, or what's the quillons, which is the up and down part that you see. If they weld it there, then the sword is more likely to snap off in combat. So usually they try to make it all one piece, which mine are. So if you wanted to sword fight with pins,
if Honey I Shrunk the Kids was a real thing, we'd have some pretty dope full tang options and a miniature scale.
I don't have any. I don't know if you could technically call the part that's behind where you would grip the sword, the wire wrapping, if you could call that a tang, because I technically don't. It's all one piece.
I see.
there's no welding at all. I mean, other than attaching the plastic pommel to the end.
That's your weld. That's your weld.
That's which I did not do. I watched Zane Morgan Craft's tutorial about lights, and he's like, "Oh, this is a really simple tutorial." And he went to the store and he bought the lights, and I was like, "This is so cool." And then he's like, "And then you just do a simple solder," and I was like, "Well, there goes that."
I mean, there's another option. Have you thought about soldering? And like, that's essentially like, I mean, they have all sorts of stuff. Like,
God.
You have JB Weld. You have options. I'm just saying, if you want to add welds to your rapier, there are ways. There are ways you could add a weld to it. Not that it needs it. What you're doing right now is absolutely gorgeous and amazing, and it's really cool. What I really want to play around with. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but like the pommel and being able to like shape different pommels with like green stuff and clay. Because you could even take the basis of that bead, put like green stuff around it, and well, you'll see. Your birthday's coming up at the end of this month, so you may be able to experiment with some stuff. We'll see. So when you could just use that as the base and like shape like a diamond pommel around the bead and like form it however you want. It would add a little bit of thickness, but I'm
already a little bit disappointed in the size of the pommel on these, but I think there's something quaint about them still having that sort of pin cushion. Like, I don't know, it's very duelist, because like small swords and fancy swords like this, the main thing that most people that could afford them use them for was like accoutrement to their outfits. It was accessories.
They were the accessories of the day.
Yeah. It was basically, hey, look how fancy I am. Zane says soldering is really easy. It's probably more about owning a thing that solders and less the actual soldering. So yeah, add that to the birthday box. Zane says it's easy, so
just throw a soldering kit in there. No big deal.
No big deal. I saw your garage. I'm sure there's one hiding in there somewhere.
That is one thing that I don't own myself. Like, fellow crafters have come on here in the past. Edgar, John Hosenfeld, who's been on the show several times before, he has a wood burning tool, and he swears by that to do foam work and how he textures and does some shaping with the foam. He loves that. But then now that I'm starting to get it. Now that I've used I used some LED lights to to light the rock garden and the Kill Bill diorama. It's the very first lighting thing that I've ever incorporated, with the exception of like dollar store tea light, put a bunch of hot glue on it, try to form a flame, and then like paint it up and it looks like a flame. I think that's the only other time I've done that. But I have a ton of LED strips now, Edgar, and I'm like, I want to utilize all these LED strips, and I think I am gonna need a soldering thing. So yeah.
Not until you put one in the box that you're sending
I just bought one, and I hadn't soldered since high school, which, by the way, I failed my electronics shop class in high school. I just want to say, honor student failed his electronics shop class.
Well, you're not failing now at all those lightsabers. Amy, I don't know if you saw the stream when Edgar was on here for the first time. He brought and showed he's making his own lightsabers. So that's like we have like a whole, like, we're gonna have to have like a dedicated Sunday where everyone just comes on, like one week, we're gonna make swords. Like one day we'll have to have like literally Danny is working on making some full-size rapiers right now. He's messing around and playing around with that. And then you've got the lightsabers. Amy's got the tiny swords.
Well, let's commit to it like till end of April. That's a good day because I'll be done and I can plan for it. End of April.
Then end of April we will be we will be lightsabering, and Amy, you're gonna have to show us a tutorial day when we just make tiny swords.
What we need is the chat to give us a title of a show that is swords from 6mm 1-inch swords to like giant lightsaber sword. Like what is the show that covers the scale of sword? What's the smallest to largest sword, and then we could have just a show where everyone makes the increment scale of sword.
That would be cool. There it is, everyone. What's the title of that stream? Everyone's gonna have to put it out there. I think, Edgar, you should make tiny lightsabers now too.
Oh my God! Don't get me.
Make them.
Don't do it.
Yeah, no, do it. Make some tiny lightsabers.
It isn't a tiny lightsaber, just the light bright pegs. Isn't that essentially a tiny lightsaber?
I mean, kind of. You just need to put a bunch of them together. It would be good. Zane Morgan has your suggestion out there in the chat. Do you see it, Amy? Size doesn't matter.
Well
That's
done.
fair. That winning. Don't need any more suggestions.
That's it. Thanks, Zane. Thanks for tuning in. And okay, everyone, that's it. Bye. Yeah. We're done for the day. Can't get any better than that right there. Size doesn't matter. That's the name. Beautiful.
Did you also see that Jesse Burster said 17th to 18th century pins for reenactors are all solid with the ball on the end, super sharp too.
Ooh.
So maybe that's exactly what I'm recreating.
We are nothing if not historically accurate, Jesse.
Yeah.
Amy is going full-born historical accuracy here. Well, this is fantastic. I think I'll put on material. Oh yeah, nice. I see you, Edgar. You're typing about what list we'll put up there. Yeah, we'll have a list for everyone. We try to do that on the stream. Like, what are we gonna build? Like, if we're building something that requires, if you want to build along with us, either during the live stream or after the fact, always a build list. Super helpful. Lately it's been a bunch of stuff.
Jesse's schooling me in the chat.
What is
remembering
Jesse saying?
now. Yes, they use those straight pins to hold the bodice together to hide the stays. They don't use buttons. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. The sharp pins for the corset. Yes?
Oh. Is that what you're saying, Jesse? You have to put it in the chat. This is great. This is fantastic, getting some new information.
And if you're scaling up from little mini, like you said, what about those hairpins for
Yes.
6-inch small sword?
I don't know who else did this. Who else was like a junior high, high school kid that was obsessed with Lord of the Rings and was in Barnes and Noble, and they had that series of letter openers that were swords from Lord of the Rings. I collected them because that was absolutely me and super, super fun. A friend of mine even still had his Sting out that's letter opener sized. It is, yeah, I definitely collected those, so that would work in your hair.
Yep. Man, well, all I know is on Friday, I am going to, I'm going to start with, for the diorama, I think I'm going to start with designing the minis today, tomorrow, and then printing them up so I can have them ready to paint on Friday. And then no swords, because I went to what is it, the Eldritch Forge, or there's another site called Hero Forge, and they actually had a decent selection of cup hilt rapier, swept hilt rapier. They had some options, and I was like, oh. And then, but the customizability between the advanced positioning wasn't as good. And it's a little, I was like, it's limited. To really create that leaned over look for Harvey Keitel, it's going to take some time. The other guy is not too bad. He's kind of upright, just in a normal, I'm freaked out, I'm going to die guard. I don't know what I'm in over my head position. But I think from there, after that, then it's going to be, I think a week from today is just going to be me trying to make my mini swords, Amy. I'm going to try to make mini swords. That's going to be...
Do you mean print mini swords?
No.
Or do you mean make mini?
No, make. I'm going to make. Okay. I'm going to make them. I mean, I could print them.
Because I wouldn't want to say that printing isn't making, because printing is making.
Printing is making.
To me, it's magic, so I'm just like, oh, what is this witchcraft?
It's pretty amazing to sit there and be like, I want to design this thing, and then within 10 minutes you could be creating and printing the thing that you want. That's nuts, right? That's crazy.
Yes, absolutely nuts.
That's the technology is insanity. these are great suggestions that you guys are putting in the chat out there. Like, if you have any other suggestions or ideas for the sword, right? If you go to the Discord, you can really get an idea of what they're fighting with in these pictures that they're utilizing. In fact, I'll work on it here. I mean, I can 100% do this. Let me do this. What am I talking about? I have the ability to Discord. Stand by. I have the ability to Discord. Let me pop up.
But do I have the will?
But do I have the will? I definitely have the will. I want to go. Oh no, that's me going away. Hold on. I want to go to me being featured, and I want to do this. Sorry. Me figuring stuff out.
It's fine. It's probably mostly the top of my head because I have to look down so hard at these tiny little bits.
Here it is. Boop. Oh, it's a little cropped off because it's a bigger shot, but you guys can see a little bit. Maybe if I minimize it, it's a little bit easier to see it there on the stream. Of at least the background and what you can see the setup and what I'm going to be going for. Lots of grass. This cool little building in the background. I think I'm going to do. But if we zoom in, we can zoom in a little bit on the sword here. You get to see Harvey Keitel and this other guy that he may or may not run through at the end of this scene. But they do have little small. They do have very, very tiny Queon, and they have a knuckle guard, and they're like the tiniest little round guards
little
ever.
Bell cup.
Yeah, little bell cup. They're really, really tiny. So that is what I'm gonna. Yeah, I definitely think we can. I think that's doable. I totally think that's doable.
Duelable.
Duelable. I like it. Well, that's where I'm gonna start. I'm gonna head over to Hero Forge and start trying to make these two right now. And see.
I've already started, and I think the thing where I'm getting stuck on is you can't adjust the lower part of the body, the legs.
You do have to find. Well.
You can do bend the elbows and the wrist, but you can't do the same with the legs. At least on the pose I have that I thought was good.
So one thing that Zane introduced it to me a couple weeks ago now. Zane, we jumped on Zoom, and we were trying to figure out because I was thinking about making adjustments to Hero Forge STLs that I've purchased, and you can use Blender, anchor the parts of the STL. And basically give it a skeleton once you've already created it. And then if you anchor the points of contact correctly and basically create the skeleton with inside your digital file, you can manipulate the STL and you can change it after you've purchased it, which is pretty.
Yeah, you lost me on STL.
STL is just the digital file format that gets thrown into whatever slicing program you're using to print the resin print.
At risk of being a stereotype, as soon as those words started happening, I started texting Jesse on the chat.
What do you mean?
I'm so sorry. I'm listening. You said words? There was a drive?
Yeah.
Are we going to space? An STL drive?
We're not going to space. I definitely think it might be. Maybe I go around with that. That would be that's going to take a little bit more time, but maybe it's something to play around with and adjust. It is a little more challenging to. You basically, Edgar, what I've done in the past is you have to take the best possible pose you can get, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, you have to go with it and try to make it work. So, I mean, if I can find a relatively low on guard base, that's not bad. And then twist him around to where he's facing a little bit more profile because he's taking away his targets. He's definitely he's providing a narrow stance there, so he doesn't present his vital organs. But like I think that's kind of the fun element and why I really like this imagery, because I always like the design challenge too of trying to recreate the shape of the performers and capture it within Hero Forge, and then bring that to life on the diorama. I did not achieve the bride like guard where she has the blade up and he's using the reflection to see everyone around, because it was hard. It was very hard. What does your mug say there? What is your mug, Root? What's your mug? Did you see it, Edgar?
No, what did it say?
You gotta show it. Just show it. That's
almost.
Now talk. Yep. But that has to be repeated at least once before I think you can commence with that order, right? At least I like.
Well, I chose this mug because. Wait. Are you still talking about my mug?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I am.
I chose this one because it's the bigger one that I have. I have a bunch of other mugs, but this. You all are gonna laugh, but I am like have to set an alarm. Okay, wait. Let me first preface this. Sebastian, if you're out there, please mute me for the next statement I'm about to make, since the last time you were on this, it was very early. But I have to set an alarm to get up before noon. Like, that is a thing. That's who I am. I am a night owl. So having to get up and be like ready to go at 10:30 a.m. for me is a thing. And I know that that's absolutely ridiculous. I get it. It's who I am. It's how it's made. I've been a bartender for a really long time. Worked a lot of late night jobs, overnight servers, things like that. And that's just my lot in that. Okay, Sebastian, if you're out there, even though I'm muted, so you probably can't hear me tell you to turn me back on.
Oh my gosh.
I appreciate you, and never, ever, ever could have done what you did without coffee.
Yeah, if I want her reaction if I would have asked her to come and get up at 6:30 in the morning to come on the stream. It would be pretty funny.
I'd still do it. It just wouldn't be pretty.
Right. Edgar, how you are focused over there, brother. Like, how's it going?
I found a pose, and I'm trying to. This is for the Harvey Keitel character. I'm trying to get his extension with under sword hand.
Yeah. So now you have to remember too. So when I'm building it, you can go and you can select the different hand options, right? So now my whole thing that I'm curious in how it's going to go is to get the hand in the right position to hold a sword, right? And I'm hoping that won't matter as much because the sword will look so cool, but that is also going to dictate, like, I was chatting with Amy about this the other day too. Maybe increasing, because I could increase the size. I could increase the size of the files to match a slightly larger scale sword. But I also really like the challenge of trying to create like a 32 millimeter sword, like in that scale. That's pretty nuts. And I think the small sword is a really good one to do it on because it's not super gangster. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at over there?
I'm just thinking about if I had to make this smaller and how, like, just holding this in my fingers and the number of times that I've poked myself. I actually did try doing this where one of my hands had the thimbles on it so that I wasn't, like, poking myself all the time, you know? And you can't hang on to anything. You can't hang on to anything. I will say that one of the first streams, I had just got my Alien Another Glorious Day in the Core board game that has a bunch of minis in it.
Yep. And
I was like, I don't know. They're on all these sprues and they're super tiny heads that are like have to be attached separate from other things. And Daniel was like, get one of the like clippers particularly for sprues, like for the tiny little minis. And I did that. And thank you, Danny, because it has now also come in handy for clipping off the ends of very, very tiny wires.
Yes.
And without it, I would be SOL, up a creek without a paddle level.
There is a, you're talking about the wire, and I meant to say, I got to send you a picture, and I'll put it in the Discord later for, like, the tips and tricks. I can't remember what this wire is called, Amy, but Chris next door just gave me some wire, and he's just like, here, this is, like, for crafting, and it was, like, not quite, it's not as thick as floral wire. It's a very thin gauge wire, and it's gold, and you can twist it very easily, but with the trade-off of being able to, like, control and make it malleable, it's very fragile. So, like, all the twisting and stuff that you'd have to do could be very, very, very challenging. But I have a ton of it, like, for this scale. So I think because the swords are gold, I have that wire that's just been sitting in my pile of potential could use later down the road stuff. So I think I'm gonna try using it mainly just because it's what I have. That, and I have I do have the floral wire that I can always paint. But
is this the wire that they put inside of like the stems of fake flowers, and then they wrap the green?
I don't know. Are you talking about the gold wire, the really thin one?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember what it's even from. Like, that's,
do you know what
I don't
gauge it is? Do you know what gauge that wire is?
It's probably one of the thinnest gauges you could have. It's thinner.
This is 28, which is like one shy of the thinnest that you could buy.
Then it's got to be the thinnest. I don't even know if you.
I don't want to go thinner than this. Like I think this would be thin enough for one smaller. It's just so brittle that you can't. And like, for instance, when I make the little ring, the first time I did it with just the, like, see how you have twist wire, but then you also have the just one wire by itself? Might be too tiny.
There it is. Yep.
Right? So one's twisted together. The twisted together obviously is going to be stronger.
Right.
Because it's got two wires instead of one.
Yep.
And I did the ring guard, just a small one at the top of the sword with the single wire, and I had to wrap it around a toothpick to make the circle. Like, I held the toothpick to the needle and then wrapped it around to make the circle, because I tried one without doing that and was bending it myself, which meant it took a little bit more, like, maneuvering to do it, and it snapped right off. Like, there's instantly. You get maybe 2 shots at getting it bent correctly. And if I was going to give these to someone, I would want it to not fall apart. You want it to have a little bit of longevity.
Right.
And the rest of these, I don't recommend dropping them, because then you have to find them. But you can drop them and throw them or whatever. If you could have a tiny pin dartboard that you threw your swords at, and they would last. But yeah, I don't know that I would recommend going below a 28 gauge wire. I mean, you can, but I use this is a broken, like, tiny ring opener that we used for making fishing lures.
Yeah.
And the piece that opens the ring, the tiny rings, you have them for jewelry too, broke off, and I was like, yes, this is the perfect little tiny implement. And I use this to do most of the twisting and stuff, but even this, if you squeeze too hard and bend too sharp,
snap it right off. It's this fine balance. That you gotta find while working with it. You gotta. And you've been walking that line. You've been making them. How long have you been working on the swords now? You've only been. It's not long, like, on the grand scheme of things. A couple weeks, right?
Wow,
nuts.
Yeah. That's amazing,
nuts, right? That's what I said too, Edgar. I was just like, I was super impressed with the amount of time that she put in. I was like, of course she's only had it for a few, but that's not entirely, like, it's a different beast, like, with the three of us too, and Amy in particular, having not only, being a fight director, but also spent some time in the shop with a very fine armorer as well. And having some tutelage and training from Lewis. So
these definitely make him laugh and are not
Are they? Did
Yeah.
you send? Did you send them to him?
Well, he's seen them on Facebook. First
Okay.
off, Tina asked if I can poke you with these, and if our history is any indication, yes, you absolutely can poke Colin with these tiny mini swords.
Wait a minute. Is she saying, can you poke me with them?
Can I poke you with these tiny swords? Yeah.
Don't
I
poke
think it came
me.
out of me.
Why are you gonna poke me? Don't poke me. Don't poke me.
Yeah. So I think so when he does wire work on his swords, it's like thick. It's real wire, and he carves out in the like. Basically, it's bulletproof glass, but in a cylinder, like in long poles, instead of, it's the same stuff you make bulletproof glass out of, and then he carves it using like power tools. And then when he wraps, he attaches it to a C-clamp, the end of the wires, and then he spins with like a drill. He'll spin it, or like braiding it and things like he has tools that help him do all these things, whereas it would be just absolutely hysterical if I attach this to a power tool.
You should. How do you think that would go, Edgar? I feel like maybe if it was a tiny power tool.
Yeah.
So now we're building mini power tools to spin the mini ones.
So it's important.
Well, do you own a Dremel, Amy?
Yes, I do, because we use them for other things.
So I love you can play with speeds and whatnot. Dremel, we're plugging Dremel. So like if you want to be a sponsor of this show, Dremel, you can again Dremel.
Oh my goodness, we are currently not sponsored by Dremel.
Yes. I was just asked if I said that I make fishing lures, and yes, I do make fishing lures with my dad, and we go out
ice
fishing and use them. Yes. Yeah. Right now it's ice fishing. Awesome. Like last night we ate what my dad pulled out of the hole in the backyard for dinner.
Nice.
So yeah, we ice fish and we make the lures. So that's where like a lot of this stuff that I was like, oh, maybe I could make a tiny sword with wires and bead caps and things was from having made a fishing lure or two. But definitely didn't have enough bead caps. Like the bead cap thing is really fun. It's the stuff that is the like cup hilt of it that you don't have. You can use some in fishing lures, but fishing lures will poke you just as much as the pin will. I didn't get out of that realm.
Nope. The I think Michael was saying that the making the fishing lures is a great skill to that translates over to making the tiny stuff. I feel like a lot of our background in the theater and just like I don't know, there's a lot of really cool things that we can pick up from all of our training from it's amazing to me like what bleeds over and translates, like all the painting stuff, all the carpentry stuff, like all of building sets, and then the lighting. Like I really wish now that I'm like into the lights, I'm like, oh man, I wish I'd have taken more lighting design classes, because now I'd be well versed. I do have access to an amazing lighting designer in Danny at any given moment in time too, but
right.
But like I all that to say, I really love how those little skill sets bleed over and translate from the professional world to the leisurely crafting world. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely my years working in the shop in undergrad helped me out, and then the like costume shop were very, very, very helpful.
And Edgar, Edgar built a a while back. You built your own workbench and workspace during quarantine too, didn't you?
Yeah, last summer, because I was using my kitchen table, my nice, kitchen table to like build shit on, and I would have to put blankets on it, and then I'd ruin the blankets. So I just went out. I went online. You can find anything online, and I figured out how to build a pretty simple workbench. So I built a workbench, and it's great. It's awesome. And now I'm looking at how I'm going to install drawers so I can store stuff. Because it was simple. So I have like a shelf at the bottom and, and whatnot. But I want to install drawers now.
Yeah, that'll be cool. The drawers would be super helpful. I spent yesterday going through and cleaning out a large portion of the garage and the workspace. I'm trying to. There's two reasons. A, I need to get in there and I need to clean my poor single-handed broadswords. I don't know why they like to rust more than the larger ones, but they do. And it's just the pommels and the crossguards need a little love. The blades and everything are fine, but for whatever reason, I don't know why. I don't know why those are those do not stay. They don't last as long as everything else. I don't know why. It's like the same material too. It's all like rogue steel. I don't know why they rust a little bit differently than the others, but they do. Maybe it's because they're older. Those are older than some of the newer stuff that I have. I don't know. I don't know if it's a different steel, but I gotta clean swords is what I'm saying. I gotta actually do the thing.
And shields.
And oh my god, I should have sent a picture.
Shouldn't have brought it out. Shouldn't have brought it out.
I like moved some stuff to put a couple of boxes away, and I saw them, and I'm like, no, no. Like we were talking the other day of the shields, trying to keep shields clean and not rusty. Their perpetual state, as our friend A-Ray said, is orange. They are orange. They're not a silver color. They're not a steel color.
That's a lot of metal to maintain, right?
It is a lot of metal to maintain. Yeah. And even those, now with all the grains down inside, like rust remembers. It remembers the oxide. It's like, I like to live here. So there are spots. That is the intimate knowledge I possess of my shields. I know where they're going to rust because that's where they've rusted. I'm like, this student didn't take care of this shield at this moment in time, or, me too. Like, it's me, not just the students, but it's me trying to
you're kind of lucky that LA doesn't have as much moisture in the air.
It was worse in Long Beach. It was worse in Long Beach. Long Beach was not cool to maintain an armory. That sucked. No. The salt air. It corrodes your battery terminals. Like I had to like clean the battery terminals, and you had to make sure you put that little gel on your connector terminals, and in the salt air would just eat away and make your shields orange. That would be cool too, Amy. Little now that you've got the little swords, but like now little shields and bucklers, different bucklers would be fun to make.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, come on, Amy. And little capes too. That would be cool. You know what?
Some scabbards.
Oh, Amy and Edgar. You know what I'm gonna do? One of these days for the fight,
what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna do.
What are you gonna do?
It won't be a fights on foam. But I should take a couple of the historic manuals and recreate some some of those on foam.
Oh.
Well, there's like a whole series of Angelos.
I know.
There's a really hilarious one. Oh, what is it? It's Tallhoffer, I think, where the dude unscrews the pommel and he's like throwing it, and he's got the sword in his hand and he's like chucking the pommel. Which I was like, wait a minute, threading for pommels. Isn't that old? Like, how did you get that pommel? Because I think but
maybe it broke off. Maybe it snapped. Maybe it snapped, and maybe it's broken. And he's like, haha. Or is it show him like? Is it? No,
it just shows him with it and then like throwing it.
I think it had to.
And I'm like, that feels bad. That feels real bad. Because then you have nothing to hold the grip of your sword on, and then eventually, I actually had. Is there story time? Is there time for that?
It's always story time.
I actually had a moment. We were doing a charity thing called Food Fights, and you donated cans of food to come watch a series of fight scenes. And I was doing Joan of Arc from Shakespeare, and the person playing, which one was it? I think it was the Dauphin scene. So the person playing the Dauphin came on and said his lines, and we're fighting, and Joan is supposed to lose, right? And as he's talking and monologuing, the pommel of his sword fell off of his broadsword. It was a sword and shield. And he didn't know that the pommel had fallen off. Now, the pommel is what holds your full blade to the grip. So if you're holding onto the grip of your sword and there's no pommel, you're not actually attached to your sword anymore. So he swung it and the blade flew out of the grip and whirligigged its way across the stage, past the proscenium, and hit the wall next to the audience.
Oh
my God.
Flew right out. And we're all like, just standing there. And then he's like, oh shit. Can I say shit? Yeah. Oh shit. I'm supposed to win, right? And he's just looking at me. I can see it on his face. So it was Joel. Poor Joel was like, I'm supposed to win. And here I am standing here with a sword and shield, and we can't finish the choreography. And he just goes, my kingdom for a sword, which is Richard III. Like, it's not that same play, but who cares? And he's like, my kingdom for a sword. He just keeps yelling, my kingdom for a sword. And all of the broadswords had like scenes that already gone, so they're all off like backstage. They have the like secondary backstage where you start cleaning everything off. And we hear a thud of a person running all the way around the backstage as he's yelling, my kingdom for a sword. And the person comes out and goes, my liege, and just hands him a sword.
My
and
liege.
Finish the fight scene. And it was just one of the absolute funniest moments. It's only funny because the sword flew like past the audience. It didn't hit anybody. But it was absolute gold. Like, you could never recreate that moment again of the blade just like flying through the air and my kingdom for a sword. I forgot about that moment. So
can't beat live theater. That's for sure.
That's right.
You can't beat it.
Colin, check it out.
I see. Oh, nope. It's gonna.
You can't see it? Damn it.
When you do that, it totally will flip the stream. I don't know what it does. Try it again. Let's see what happens to the stream. Share the screen.
Oh, there we go. I clicked on the wrong one.
Oh.
No?
Nope. Okay, do this. You have to do this.
We can see it, but
they can't see it.
It's in the chat. I uploaded the photo in the chat.
I can't access the chat either. Well, let me try
Put it in
this.
the Discord. Put it in the Discord.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you can snap like a screenshot of it and then either text it, put it in the Facebook Messenger, or upload it to the Crazy Crafter Discord, or if you are all out there, be sure you upload your works in progress and the current finished products, whatever it is, under the Share Your Work tab for the Crazy Crafter Discord. Is it there? You texted it. Boom! I'm gonna upload it right now. Oh snap! This is good. I like this.
It's still a work in progress. Yeah, when you kind of go around it, I see that it's not quite the right angle, but it's getting there.
It's getting there, like that. Well, that's the important part. Is like you can't. It's gonna take some time. I'm uploading it to the random chatter for everyone to see. We will take a look at it right now. As a matter of fact, let us look at it. Let's go to Le Discord and we'll check it out. Boom. Here it comes.
You're so fancy with the Discord and the social media.
I'm so fancy. Put it in the Discord. Okay, I'm gonna stop there before I embarrass myself anymore. This is awesome.
I don't know that that's possible.
I like Edgar. It almost looks like Harvey Keitel is about to dab. It almost looks like he's about to dab in his arm, just a little bit. He's gonna dab just a little bit. That's really good. The angle,
like almost exactly.
It's almost exactly 100%. It looks really good.
I just can't change the legs on him.
Wow.
Jesse said in the chat that they thought that they'd seen someone.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Change legs.
You could change legs? I mean, you can switch out legs, but posing the legs.
Posing the legs is what I'm talking about. Posing the legs
is the it doesn't give you control to like manipulate the bottom half. That's gonna be, I never heard back from him. I never heard back from him. But if I ever get a hold of anyone over at Hero Forge, I'm gonna be like, bro, you have color. You can color everything, but you have only one option, and it's a massive cup hilt rapier. Give me smallsword options. Give me other rapier options, and also give me the ability to move, reposition feet, please.
I'm blinded. My curtain fell down.
Your curtain?
Yeah, did you see me get like super bright?
I don't know. I didn't see it. Here we go.
Hey, Colin, I'm gonna have to roll out in a little bit, but I wanna bring up Warrior.
Oh yes, bring up Warrior. Let's talk about Warrior. Because
I thought it was a subtitle television show.
No.
It's
So
not.
Warrior. Well, I'm looking at the opening, the production company logos, and I think it's a Cinemax show that then went to HBO and then is on Amazon, but it's produced by Cinemax and HBO. It's a great show. I don't know how many people have seen this. It's called Warrior. It's a Western that takes place in San Francisco just after the Civil War, right? And it kind of deals with the Chinese tongs, the gangs, and the Chinese immigration and the racism and all that stuff that's happening specifically in San Francisco. The Irish cops, the corrupt Irish cops, corrupt government, and of course, and it's based on the writings of Bruce Lee. So I'm not sure what that means, but right? It's produced by Justin Lin, and there's a lot of kung fu action, obviously, in a Western, and it kind of pays homage to the Western, and episode 6, which I saw last night, is a complete homage to spaghetti Westerns, complete with the two Chinese characters riding off into the sunset at the end of the episode.
Awesome.
Here's the coolest thing about this show, to answer your question, Amy. It's in English, right? But it's in English, but they do this really cool thing, because you often see characters who are speaking a different language, but in order for us to understand it, they speak English, right? But they don't really make the transition from one language to the other. So what they do in this show is really cool. So the Chinese characters speak Mandarin to each other when they're with each other, and then the camera, and it begins the scene that way, and with subtitles, and then the camera kind of pans around or does a camera movement, which allows them to transition to English.
Oh, that's cool.
So they're still, and they're speaking perfect unaccented English when they're speaking amongst themselves, as and we understand that they're still speaking Mandarin, right? When an American character comes into the scene, or when they're in a scene with an American character, they speak Mandarin to each other with subtitles, and then they speak broken English or accented English to the American characters, right? And then they do this cool thing where they go from they're speaking to the American cop, for example, and they're speaking in an accented English, and the cop leaves and they turn to face each other, the two Chinese characters, and they speak in perfect unaccented English. And it's this great device that really, tells the story.
So cool.
So I just wanted to, and the action is really cool. They're still, I think, in the first couple of episodes, they're still trying to figure out how to shoot the action. So they're doing a lot of frame cutting, and and so what that means is when they cut frames, they'll, if they shoot the punch, they'll cut out the action from here and they'll pick up the action there, right? And so they cut that in between space, so it makes it look like the punch actually happens faster than they actually shot it. If they do it subtly, the audience doesn't really notice it. If they do it less subtly, it becomes a little bit of a choice, and you see that a lot of in kung fu or Hong Kong action movies. You'll see a little bit more, and then if you've seen the Kingsmen, they really use it, and it's a stylistic choice, right? So they do that here, but they don't do it very well initially in the first 2 or 3 episodes. And then they get better at it, and then the action starts to be really well done.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
I do too. I haven't seen it. Now, what I'm hearing is I might have another addition to the ever-growing list of fights on foam. Is what you're telling me.
This is yeah.
Yeah, right. I have to fix this.
And they're fighting with like tomahawks or small axes.
Oh, that's cool.
And knives.
It's some of my favorite fights are the found or objects that you normally wouldn't be considered as a weapon. I mean, obviously axes and tomahawks, totally weapons, but you don't get to see them. You don't get to see them featured as predominant as much. So that's cool that they're using what would have been around and what would have been accessible and available at the time.
Well, it's also it's I don't know if it's of Chinese origin, this particular tomahawk or axe, but the gangs all have them. That's their weapon of choice, because I don't guess they're not allowed to carry pistols. They if they were Chinese. I'm not sure what it was, but they're all carrying bladed weapons.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm excited to check it out. What platform is it on?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Adding it to the list. Michael got me interested in Black Sails, and I'm checking out Black Sails right now.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen Black Sails ever.
Rude.
What?
Michael got you interested in Black Sails. I see the new friend suggestion.
No, it's not. It's how old is it? How old? It's like 20. So you would have suggested it in 2014, 6 years ago.
Yes.
When I was in grad
100%.
school. I couldn't watch anything in grad school.
Are they waiting for the link, Colin?
They're waiting for the link?
Oh, no. Colin posted where's the link.
I'm asking for the link.
Colin posted.
Because Jesse posted in there, he posted a link in YouTube that I saw working on posing in Hero Forge, which he said we could watch later. I'll be sure to share that with everyone. I should add it. I should add it to the description of the video. That's it's going to be just a good tutorial for everyone to check out. Thanks for sharing that, Jesse. Where did you put it? Because I saw that you commented there, but I didn't scroll back in the chat. Maybe it's back earlier in the chat. But definitely let us know where that link is, because I want to find it. Yeah, that's cool. So Warriors on the list. Is there anything? Are you have you been consuming any television as of late or film, Amy? Like, is there anything in particular that's jumping out at you right now that you're like, oh, this was really cool?
Well, first off, everybody should watch She-Ra, the cartoon.
She-Ra is awesome.
It's the best, and you can watch it with your kiddos.
Is that the new one, right?
Yeah, the one on Netflix. You should definitely watch She-Ra.
My voice is one of the characters on that.
It's so good.
Okay.
I love it so much. I definitely watched that. You guys talked about Mass Effect too much, so I've been playing Mass Effect instead of watching things. I actually started watching Farscape over again because I'm a puppet fanatic and a sci-fi person, so Farscape is
checks
high on
those
my
boxes.
list.
Wow.
Yep. There was, if you're a person who misses going to theater, there was a production called In and of Itself that was, I think it's In and of Itself, that was in theaters, and they did a lot of filming of it, and they just released it on Hulu. And it has like magic in it and this really amazing message about, self-discovery and deciding who you are and how that evolves and changes. It was very, 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 very good. I think it's called In and of Itself. Yeah, I've been more into watching some classic stuff. I'm also a huge, this is going to be silly, but a huge Supernatural fan. Huge Supernatural fan. And it's the last season. It's a series finale of a 15-year journey in my life. Teen Amy watching Supernatural as the absolute perfect soap opera for me. Because it's, murder supernatural things and half demons and
it's like a supernatural procedural. It's you've recommended that one to me, and I've got to check it out. I've never seen.
I mean, it's a soap opera. It's just a supernatural themed soap opera. So I'm not saying that the plot is realistic. But I have absolutely been on a journey since I was a teenager with this show, and it's the season finale. And I haven't finished the last season, but I think everybody has that show that they were with for a long time, that they love, that maybe is gone on a roller coaster ride of good to bad and back. But yeah, so my mom is watching it with me, so we watch an episode of Supernatural every once in a while. And then The Expanse, if you haven't seen The Expanse, I know this is a series of sci-fi stuff, but I'm into watching bad sci-fi movies, if there's horrible sci-fi movies, anything with Bruce Willis, then The Expanse is really, really good. Go watch The Expanse. If you liked the last stream about sci-fi stuff, you will absolutely love this television show, The Expanse.
That's something I try to do, whenever we get into the theme, or if there's a particular area or genre we're like rolling into, I always try to immerse myself either indirectly that thing or a little bit ahead of time. And I didn't have time last week to go down the sci-fi rabbit hole. I was sad. Like that is one of my favorite all-time genres, and I love. So I it's been a long time for Farscape for me. So maybe I'll have to go back and revisit. I've got Warriors. I've got Black Sails.
Warrior, I think.
Or War. It's
yeah,
Warrior.
go Black Sails. Like, don't listen to any of the other stuff I said. Just do Black Sails.
Just do Black Sails. Okay.
What's that stream on?
What? Blacks. It's on. I tested out. I ended up buying the season because I liked it. I was just like, I bought it, so I ended up getting it. I went through Prime. You could test out and do like the first episode or two, and then I was just like, all right, this is dope. I'm doing it.
I watched it as it came out, so I actually don't know.
I haven't looked. Maybe I could have found it somewhere else. I didn't even look. I was just like, it was late, and I was like, I'm doing it. I want to watch more now.
Back in the day, my platonic life partner Sarah and I would DVR the Black Sails, and then we would hit play. We would call each other, and then we'd hit play at the same time, and we would watch them together across the country, no matter where I was. Yeah.
Hey, someone in the chat posted that someone posted about what's a good spear fight.
Yep.
And the Oberyn, what is it? The Mountain, was it?
Yep. Oberyn the Mountain from Game of Thrones is good.
Yeah. That's a great spear fight.
And
I put the thing from Troy to fight. Brad Pitt fights with a spear, and
Richard Ryan.
I like the spear work in that one. I mean, the fights are the best thing about. I mean, Troy's not the best movie in the world. I like the movie. Is it the greatest movie in the world? No. But
we're not talking about greatest movies.
We're not talking about greatest movies.
Fights.
We're talking about good fights. That's true. And
I like Waterworld.
I like Waterworld too. Waterworld. Ooh,
are you coming at Waterworld, Edgar?
What?
Are you coming at Waterworld like it isn't a good movie?
No, I'm totally being serious. I love Water. Listen, I'll go one deeper. I love The Postman.
Oh.
Right? With Kevin Costner. I done The Postman.
Well, Kevin Costner's just... Okay, one of my favorite movies of all time is Day After Tomorrow.
Yes.
You know this? Yeah, and it's so bad good. I love it so much.
Is that the one from the 80s?
Yeah. Oh no, it had to have been the
2002, 2003. 2002.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
It's Kevin Costner, right? Or is it the one I always get it mixed up with?
Wait, The Day After Tomorrow is...
Yeah.
That's Jake. That's the one where like that's the.
No,
one
but the dad is the one that's important, and I think that's Kevin Costner. No, yes, Kevin Costner. No,
he's
the other one that I always mix up with.
That's
Kevin
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid. There it is. They're the same person to me.
No, they're not.
I thought you were talking about that 1980s like thing. At the height of the Cold War, there was a movie called The Day After Tomorrow. I think it was called that. It was all about an atomic war, and 80 million people saw it at once when there were 3 channels on TV, and everybody saw it. And then there was town halls afterwards and for days afterwards because it was so traumatic.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm aging myself here. I'm dating myself.
One should always date yourself.
One should always date. Treat yourself.
Zane, I'm
your own soulmate.
What did you say, Edgar?
I'm the milkman's son. Zane says, my mom told me I was a postman's child.
And then he said, I'm not talking about the same thing.
But yeah. It's okay. I'm the milkman's son. I got you.
Dennis Quaid is a great actor, and I'm sorry that I always just equate Dennis Quaid and Kevin Costner as the same person and interchange.
Hey, are you coming down on Kevin Costner? Come on.
No, absolutely not. I think they're both awesome, and they're both. But for me, it's it's a warm landing place where you're like, it's kind of Dad, you're watching Dad save the day.
They're talking about spear fights and some of your favorite stuff that you've seen on film for spear fights. I always go back to the dojo fight in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon when they're switching between a ton of different weapons. Yeah. That is... movie is one of my favorite movies, of all time. I love that movie, but that scene in particular is amazing because it's just I don't know, it's just a smorgasbord of different fighting styles, different weapons, and I love all the spear work in that one. It's amazing. It's gorgeous.
Well, is it fair to say that almost, and you pick a kung fu movie, and there's probably a staff or a spear fight in it?
Yep. I mean, you can go to any most any of Jackie Chan's movies where he's using some found object work, and you're getting some amazing stuff too. Like, it's true. It's really, it's definitely one that I wish I could. I don't get to choreograph. I haven't got a chance to choreograph a ton of spear or quarterstaff or any any polearm work. It's a lot of fun. I did like the time that I did get to do some spear work on stage, or closest thing to it, was these giant halberds that we used in the production of Henry V 3 years ago. The memory just popped up on Facebook today, and I shared it.
I saw that.
I was like, a two show day. How I long for thee. But we use giant halberds on stage for that, and that is the largest thing that I've ever wielded on stage with a bunch of people rolling around. I was just like, that was pretty. That was one of my favorite memories of choreographing and fighting on stage. I lifted Mark. I don't know. Do you know Mark Leclerc? You know Mark Leclerc, Edgar. Do you know Mark?
No, I don't. Maybe by name or by face, but I'm not. Yeah.
Mark's a very talented actor, great teacher. He's a fight director too here in town. But he was in the show, and we were in the show together, and we were working together. And I basically shish kebabbed him with the halberd and like raised him up on stage, and then slammed him down back on the stage, and he wore a brace on his back. So the ending tableau was me with this giant halberd, whoom, slamming it down on his back. So
how did you lift him up?
He's smaller than he's shorter than me, and he's light. He's in really good shape, and he's light as a feather. He is a little spider monkey. So he gave me some hops, and like I basically lifted him up for that brief second where it just raised him up to hold him for a brief second, and then guided him back down. Squats were my friend during that show. Yeah. Doing that. That was one of the that was dope. I want to fight with a halberd again now, guys. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at today. I want to fight with a halberd again.
Oh, dang it. I was going to maybe do that.
We'll make it happen.
I want to. Oh, yay. Good.
And, once we come out of the dark ages, we can play once again. Yes,
this is true. Well, we'll see. Like, maybe sooner rather than later. Hopefully, this is a fully vaccinated household over here, thankfully. And I know, maybe sometime next month. That would be a thing we could. I have a big outdoor area. We could still mask up, and there's no greater weapon to socially distance than a polearm.
Than sticks.
Right.
That would be amazing. I haven't fought anyone in over a year now.
I know.
I haven't crossed swords with
We had Swords in the Smokies on the week of my birthday, late March. Yeah. And while we were in the mountains, the shutdown happened and flights got canceled, and I almost couldn't rent a car, and we were almost stuck on a sovereign state, like a Native American owned land.
Yeah.
And if you we were technically foreign entities on this land. So it was like if you left went beyond the border, you weren't allowed back in because of the shutdowns and stuff. And it was absolutely nuts. Craziness.
Oh yes, one of we've got Spud who just joined the chat here from the Chilling Wargamers, popping in to say smash that like button and show some love. Thanks, brother. Happy to be a part of the Chilling Network with the rest of the amazing community. If you haven't done so yet, you should definitely head over to the Chilling Wargamers Network and subscribe to their channel. There's an amazing community out there of fellow crafters, and definitely thrilled to be a part of that community. So thanks for the love in the chat, Spud. We appreciate it.
And campaign terrain, we can't be friends anymore.
Uh-oh.
I'm just saying.
What happened?
We can't be friends.
Oh no.
So he doesn't like The Walking Dead.
Yeah, we can't be
like
friends. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Take it back.
Take it back.
Yeah. Carl from Carl Make Stuff is definitely he studies European martial arts and has done longsword, all sorts of different weapons. He's saying he has sparring withdrawal. We feel you.
Oh, we feel you.
We feel you, my friend.
I mean, I'm literally making tiny swords. Like, this is where my life is at. Because I miss it so.
I can't fight on stage, so I fight on foam. Right?
You can fight yourself, Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was a suggestion to build a hamster army that I kind of liked.
I like
most people are like, "What is an army of ants?"
Yep.
Army of ants. So I got to jump off and get to and get ready for my class.
Yes. Okay. Well, we definitely appreciate you coming on the stream and hanging out, brother. This was an absolute blast and an absolute pleasure. So.
And I'm serious. Keep plugging that lightsaber thing, because we'll do a whole step-by-step tutorial and take everybody through this, and have their materials ready, and we'll do it.
That sounds absolutely fantastic, my friend.
Zane Morgan Crafts says that there's a 1 millimeter LED that you could use for your tiny lightsabers.
Whoa.
Wow, I'm gonna have to investigate that. That's a whole other there's two rabbit holes. I can't go down all of them at the same time.
Go down the rabbit hole. Go down. Go. It's
one of us.
Yeah, this is definitely one. Edgar, if you're not a member of the Crazy Crafter Discord, I'm gonna send you the link. You'll have to join it. You have to join it, and you have to start posting away, my friend.
Yeah, Colin, man, you're just adding to I'm on 10 different communications platforms for the different jobs I have. You're just adding to it, but that's okay.
This is a good one to add to the list in the midst of all of the work and keeping up professionally too. It's definitely going to be good. I'm just seeing your bike back there. We're gonna have to go on a ride here too pretty soon. I would love to go for a ride. What kind of bike is that, real quick?
I have a Cannondale. It's a hybrid kind of road bike.
Yep, that's what I've got. I've got a pseudo hybrid. I've got a Trek Marlin 5 is what I have.
I regret not getting it with the racing handlebars now, and to change them up is like a $500 job. So I might as well invest in a new bike, because I have to do all the and whatnot. So
yeah, that's a perfect. That bike is perfect as is.
Yeah, it totally is. It totally is.
Well,
anyways,
thanks for hanging out, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'll be in touch, and we're looking forward to your normal and mini lightsaber size tutorial in April.
Right. See you guys.
All right, later, brother.
Bye.
Wile E. Coyote has left the building. All right, give me a second here. I'm gonna have to reposition.
No seconds.
Yep. We need the seconds. It's definitely something we need. I will fix everything.
If I turn this space heater on, does it bother everybody? Let's see.
I don't think so. Turn the space heater on.
Well, sometimes it's noisy.
It'll be fine. Twill be fine. I'm making you a little bit larger here, Amy, in size, and reframing something here, so give me one.
Every girl's dream to be made a little bit larger.
For the stream!
For the stream!
For the stream! For the stream!
I need some opinions on what bead if I should put a bead cap on here, or to choose a bead cap for this sword that I'm working on.
Okay.
3 choices. I'm gonna need some opinions.
Well, we have opinions.
Maybe if you can see them.
We have opinions.
They might be too tiny.
I don't know if you know this, but our community is really good with not only opinions, but really, really good suggestions. So we can tap.
Yes, I do know this.
Okay. I am... Oh, it's almost there. Hold on, guys. Bear with me. There we go. Boom. Yay! Now we're split screen. We're splitted and fancy. We're screened. Yep. There we are. Fancy. What do you need a pin? Okay, what's your opinion?
So far I have this is what's going on.
Oh. I like that.
Let's see. I don't have as much light anymore because I needed it. Let's try this. See if I can get it now.
Oogie, come on, little tiny. Oh, Yahtzee. Okay. Ooh, I like the. Is that a larger wrap around the handle that I'm seeing there?
So what I did was I traced back over with a. Let's see. I can really. I gotta get closer. I'm reaching too far with the second wire.
Yep.
You can see it.
Yep.
So it has like a second wrap on it.
Yep.
But I have these 3 different bead caps. How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this?
How are you gonna do it? I don't know.
Let's see. And I want an opinion on this. Let's see. Maybe I'll do it like this.
Zane says, "Turn off the space heater. It's hot. It's hot here."
Oh gosh!
You lost one. Where'd it go? It ran away on you.
I got it. These are the 3. Let's see. Come on, baby.
It's I know. Almost.
You gonna get it? They're so tiny.
They're so tiny.
My camera's like, I know. I hate
it's
you.
It's like, no way, bro. It's like, no way. Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh. As soon as it's like, it focuses, it's like, no, I can't focus on things that tiny. And it runs away on it. Oh my gosh. There we go. That's a good spot. Whoa. I love that one on the, that's directly across from the silver one, the other one. I like that one, but I like that one with a little. Yes, this that one? I like that one a lot.
Okay, because it's going on. I think it's gonna go on.
That right there. Oh, that looks cool. What are you gonna do with all these tiny swords, Root?
I don't know. Some people want to buy them from me, which is interesting. But that sounds like a tax problem.
That's later problems. That's 2022 problems right there.
Yikes.
That's 2022 problems, yo. Oh my goodness. Crafty. Look at that crafty station. There you are. You're back. You're back.
Whoa.
Well, here it is. Do you feel like this is like the pinnacle of quarantine right here on the Crazy Crafter live stream, making tiny swords right here?
Feels like a lot of pressure.
No.
To ask me on the stream whether no, just kidding. It's like, is it?
Is it?
It is. Well, okay. Yes, it's a highlight. But I will say that I had not played anything past N64.
Yeah.
Until the pandemic hit.
Uh-huh.
And
there's a whole new world out there for you.
This is a whole new world, and it is very exciting and all time consuming. Some of my friends who play games online and things like that, and video games were like, let's stream on Twitch. And so I'm playing a game right now that's streaming me experiencing it for the first time, playing this game on Saturdays on Twitch. And the first time we did it, I was like, holy crap. I went from like N64, Banjo-Kazooie, and then giant gap in my Zelda too. I mean, duh, you can't have N64 and not play Zelda,
right?
And then jumping to my laptop hardly even worked. The only thing I used my laptop for was writing plays. Like that was basically it, and then everything else was on my phone. And now I'm a Twitch gamer, which was like,
which is awesome.
There's those times in your life when you're doing a thing or having a conversation. The first time I ever had to do a decapitated head on a stage, and we're like talking about ways in which you can create a model of the actor's head and the amount of blood that you're using, and we were practicing like exploding blood and decapitated heads and all that thing, and we're sending emails back and forth about research on and you're like, this is a thing that's happening in my life that is super exciting and also something I never imagined would be like my life is interesting. That was a moment for me was Twitch streaming Undertale, which don't spoil any of Undertale for me in the chat. You guys,
no spoiling it, y'all. Don't spoil it. Because it's been
such an incredible journey for me, and I don't want any spoilers.
Don't spoil Undertale, please.
That was a lot of fun. Definitely, I think the crafting community that you've created is something that will be, and something that will mark the pandemic for me, because even when I just first started watching, I was like, I'm going to watch my friend and support my friend doing his YouTube thing, and It's something creative, which I like. But I was like, I kind of craft things. I more charcoal on canvases sometimes, or like building fishing
I didn't know you did. I didn't know you did like charcoal on canvas stuff. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, and it's like in college I took quite a few art classes and stuff like that. I have art in my genes, but this community has been really super supportive, even though they're like hella crazy, intimidatingly level talented. And it I don't know, it gave a little like, hey, you can do something creative and a little bit outside your bubble, and it's accessible, and we're gonna like enjoy your mess ups and your successes. And the Discord, like I've been in a lot of Discords that are attached to different YouTube things and stuff like that, and this Discord is actually really like warm and supportive and full of really useful things too. Which I don't know, I just feel like you did a really good job at Crazy Crafter and That One Videos, and everybody else that's out there, of creating a community with crafting that is accessible but also pushes you to try stuff.
It's important. You know? I mean, I think I'm well, thank you. I'm glad that community has, I feel the same exact way about it, Amy. I feel the same exact way. And the Discord I cannot take credit for, because that is Sonder putting that together and like assembled it. And like I'm still building his care package. He's got like he's got some cool stuff headed his way, and as like just a little thank you. It's huge when he created that. Like I really feel like it just gave. I knew he was 100% right when he was just like, you need to build it. And I'm like, I don't know when I build that. And I was like, I've never built it. And he offered to do it for all of us. So that was huge when he did that. And it gave us a chance to kind of have another just a space to meet outside of the stream, you know. And really, all the resource, like again, there's not a thing like a day doesn't go by when I'm like, oh, I picked up a new tip or a new tidbit of information for the crafting community that goes by. What were you laughing at? What did you see? What did you see?
Well, there was a conversation about I have art in my jeans, on my sweater, on the floor. And I was like, oh yeah,
Michael, I'm seeing it. Yeah, us too, bro.
Which was really, really, really funny.
Right now, there are the little supports.
I love a good.
Oh, go ahead.
I love a good dad joke. Look right there, haha, dad joke.
Yep. There it is. That's what it is.
solid.
He's good for those dad jokes. Oh my
I'm looking
God.
down because I'm gluing, and
No,
I don't
look
have
down.
the problem Zane has with the glue on my fingers. I'm fine with it. My problem is that it doesn't stick where it's supposed to stick.
Yes.
And then it's everywhere.
Glue.
And you picked the one that's like a cup, and so it only touches the sword in like 3 places.
one very 3 precarious tiny spots. I'm over here on Hero Forge trying to formulate my little dude. I'm trying to do the guy that Harvey Keitel fights. I'm trying to figure out his situation and figure him out. I've given him some lovely big ol' the chops that it gives you for the side. Like he has like a little bit of the side beard, like the sideburns, but the sideburns on Hero Forge, they're like they're massive. They're so big. I'm like, I might green stuff him on later. I might do that. Green stuff is the shiznik because you can glue stuff back on. It's really good. Like when you snap off an arm for a mini, you can glue. I like using the green stuff. Or make a mohawk. I had leftover and I was like, I'm making this mohawk. I gave that to Cora next door to paint. I made like a bag of minis for her because like she's been this amazing. since Ben has been back in school. They haven't played because Cora still sees her grandma and she hasn't gotten vaccinated, so playing time hasn't been a thing for them. So I was just like, I want to make sure we get some cool stuff for her to do. I know they miss each other, but they're both like they also something else. I was like they get a little bit of a break from each other too, which is not a bad thing. But she saw the mohawk and she was like, she's like, what's that? And like we were trying to explain to her what the mohawk was, and she was just like, cool. I was like, oh, that'll be fun. She'll have fun with the mohawk. She gets to paint a mohawk. Maybe I'll paint some sideburns. How did your gluing excursion go?
It's now dry. Let's see. Now I do this every time. I'm like, oh, I want to take a picture of it, and then I F it up because I touch it and pick it up and I move it, and I'm like, damn it.
Me too. I do the same thing.
Sorry if that was really loud, guys. Sometimes I'm theatrically loud, and I forget that your microphone's like an inch from my face. Let's see if I can show it. It was a good choice. That was a good choice.
Ooh, yeah, that hilt is dope. That looks great. I love. I can't wait till you get the silver too, because then silver's gonna be exceptional. That's really cool.
Rubbing in that I just got the email that it's delayed again, and I could get a refund if I don't get it. And I'm like, but I just wanna use.
Why is it short? Is everyone else creating little tiny swords too?
I push the button I like to not get a bunch of different packages.
Yeah. I
want them to stick them into one, like as little amount of packages as possible. And I think there's something else in there that, isn't.
Ooh, that's looking good.
That's
looking good.
My poor webcam is trying so hard.
Your webcam's...
You should get through my nose.
You should get it through my nose?
Yeah, like one of those little piercings.
What are they saying?
Love to... Nat one says, so I haven't read it yet, so this will live reaction. So I have a little challenge for Amy. Ooh. Seeing as she has these mini wire working skills. Oh, that was a cold read disaster right there.
No, it wasn't. That was perfect.
Mini wire working skills. I would love to see what she would do with a mini ornate fence or gate.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Is that a challenge accepted?
I think I would need thicker wire. I think I would have to order not this tiny. Because a chain link would be easy, but how boring would that be?
I wonder if you could do like, just like like a gate entrance. Like it'd just be like just like a swinging gate to like an entrance to a graveyard, Could be the entrance to. It could be the entrance to many different things. Could be the entrance. You could build like a jail. Like the entrance to a jail would be kind of cool. Like it could be many different things. That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
I do like the idea of like when you're pulling up to like a mansion of some kind and they have the big gate. I think he said that's the ornate kind of gates he's talking about where it like swings open and shut in the front and it's like all the wires are intricately, they look like vines almost, and then it like twirls. Oh god, yeah. I'm already seeing how many hours that would take.
There you go. Go down that rabbit hole. Good thing there's a quick, cheap, and easy vine tutorial out there on Zane Morgan Crafts. You can go build your vines cheap and easy.
yeah. No, I would put the vines on top of the wire. Then you have like vines and wire.
Oh.
That would be so hard though because you'd really have to know a little bit ahead of time where you want to go because when I sometimes will choose to start with like a 3-wire wrapping so that I have 2 that tail off so that you have other like stuff to attach to. So they're never within the gate are you ever gluing a wire in, that it's always, oh man, I need more coffee. That would have to be a champagne late night or glitter in your wine evening event to get you through that. Yep, for sure.
It sounds, but it's already gotten. It's a good suggestion, Michael. It's gotten the creative juices flowing. She's on it.
Oh,
she's on it. Oh, that'd be cool.
That's gonna be. I wait. How much time do I have left on this stream? Because I promised myself I would get over a fear hurdle while I was on this.
You'd get over a what hurdle?
A fear hurdle.
A fear hurdle. Well, we've got time. Oh, ooh.
I'm gonna clip one and glue it.
Clip one and glue it. We've got time. I'm still building. I'm trying to get mine. I've fully dressed my mini, and now I need to pose him. So I'm working on him right now. So it's perfect. I don't like his pants. He needs new pants. I don't like those pants. Oh man, someone's cooking. My mom's cooking something. I smell it. My mom is cooking something. That's quite lovely of her.
What are these?
I don't know what she's cooking, but it smells amazing. Oh, it's harsh winter for us out here right now. It rained last night, and it's supposed to rain again today. And
we got rain.
I know we got rain. It's good. And Amy, it's really cold. It's 55 degrees here right now.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah, I had to put on my 2016 summer art sweatshirt. Oh, so much for the fear hurdle. I'm terrified. It's terrifying.
Okay,
me.
like look how tiny. Look at it. Why is the head not attached? Why are you doing this to me? I've never glued a mini together in my life.
Do it.
I'm a board gamer.
Snip it.
Look at this.
Those sprues are gonna. All the xenomorph stuff is cool. Those are gonna be some cool sprues. If like you clip those out and keep the sprues intact, that's like a really cool, like stencil or like that's pretty cool. You could use that to.
Come on.
I mean, it looks cool. Get to snipping. You can do it. I know you're gonna rock it right now.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna rock. You're gonna kill it. I
don't want to kill it. I want it to not die.
It's not gonna die. It's not gonna die.
Should I put Newt together first?
Yeah, put Newt together. That's a great place to start. I love Newt.
Newt just is missing her arm, so I think that would be fine. Like it literally came with an IKEA sheet because they're in so many pieces. In not like this square has pieces for this mini and also other minis. I know everyone out there is like, welcome to this life. This is the way it goes.
This is great. But... like this is perfect. Like this is your journey and you're stepping to the next big world. I remember when I glued my first mini together, before I started doing the resin printing, Amy, I'm a huge fan of, I don't know what it is. I like weight in my I like my swords a little heavier than most people. I like my metal dice. I like metal figures, and Reaper miniatures have little metal figures together. I could step away and grab one real quick. Let me step away and grab it real quick because it's not far. I want to show. I'll show it to you guys. Then I get to show a mini that I painted early on. BRB.
Zane, you asked me what these are. So this is the game Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core. And I got it at the beginning of quarantine because I have board game night with my friends. We're board game geeks, hardcore board game geeks. And there was already a board game that was themed aliens, but couldn't use the aliens title because it was, aliens, and they didn't. That would be expensive. And also, Gale Force 9, I think, already owned the rights to it. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I love Aliens, the movie, and I love the theme, and I love cooperative games. And this is like a campaign cooperative board game. So I ordered it and was really excited about it. And then I opened the box, and usually the minis are like already pre-assembled, or you just have to attach them to their base. That's been my experience, at least. Maybe I just am not. I've never bought a board game. Like, most of my friends own the board games because I am such a nomad. So our friend DC has what we call Board Game Central, and it's 3 walls of the basement full of board games. Ceiling to floor board games. They have so many board games that they have to pull a board game out of a hat that is board games that they haven't played yet. And every time they buy a new one, they put the title of it in the hat so that at some point they will at least have tried to play all of the games in their basement. But I don't think it's physically possible for them in their lifetime. That's how many board games they have. But I don't have that many. So I don't have as much experience, is what I'm trying to say. Cutting out and gluing things. But this one is it's got like tiny heads on one thing that attached to the body over here and an arm over here. And then the aliens sheet, like you can see, has like tails and heads and arms and bases. And you're supposed to be able to mix and match, like heads where the alien's mouth is open.
Oh my gosh.
Versus like not open, and tails that go different directions. And I'm like,
options. You've got options. Tina just came back. She said she had a work problem, but she's back now, and we're telling her that I just told her you're tackling the thing. You're gluing stuff together. It's gonna look great.
Zane says that this is perfect for the Aliens diorama that he requested.
Yeah, I've got a couple things in mind for an alien diorama. I've got a tiny one. I've got a small project with that one that would be kind of cool. And then I've got a really big project based on when I was a kid, we used to go to like a ton of different science museums. My dad would always take me to them. And one of them had the life-size replica of the Queen and Ripley in the mech suit. And I'm like, it's pretty dope. Another one that I love, I just love the images of Ripley holding Newt with the freaking souped up like flamethrower and assault rifle duct taped together. Ooh, you're cutting! I'm
cutting!
Get it!
Sorry,
Are you using an X-Acto, or are you using the snips?
No, I'm using the tool that Danny said I should use, nice. And it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Flush.
Anyway.
One piece down. That's where it starts. So, these metal miniatures that I was telling you about, here they are. I'm going to show it to you. Well, I'll show it to the stream first, and then I'll show it to you here, Root, because yours is going to be a little bit higher. It's a little higher for you, but this is the Reaper miniature. So this shield, I'll show it to you here in a second. This shield you had to glue on, his head you had to glue on, and his arm. Okay, so that's for everyone out there. Here's yours. Here's your take on it. Yeah, this was the very first thing that I put together. I'll bring it up here so I can show it to you. So let me see if I can. Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. I see on the feed that you didn't use an Instahand.
Did I what? I didn't use an Insta. I don't have, but I used I don't need the instant hand. I did the focus thing. Was it not good enough? I'm using this camera here. Gosh.
You let him know in the chat if it was good enough.
Jeez.
I love razzing you. This is fun.
It's what you do. There.
Hey, look
instant.
at that.
That's an instant hand for you.
Look at how clear. Look at that. That's beautiful. Oh,
so, green stuff. This was green stuff. His head, you can see I didn't get, like, you can see, like, the little... Oh, excuse me.
You.
Thank you.
Gesundheit. Salud.
He's got, like, a little bit of green stuff down there, but it blends in. It blends in really well.
I don't see the green stuff.
It's right. It looks like a little rib around his head
there.
And then
wouldn't have caught it.
Wouldn't have caught it, right? Fun story. When I first glued this hand in, I glued it in upside down, so the mace was like inverted, like a goober. And I made the mistake of sharing that with the D&D group, and then everyone proceeded to be like, "Oh, cool, good job, fight director. Way to invert the weapon." And I was just like, "Oh, yep."
Wait, Tina says, "Don't cut too close to the piece you need, Amy. I just started cutting, and yes, cut too close. And I don't even know what cutting too close means, and now I'm paralyzed." No, I'm just kidding.
What is the cutting too close? Or is it just like taking plastic with it?
Well, do you mean like there's a peg on the bottom of the foot that has to go into the base, and you don't want to cut that off? One thing Aliens has done to me is at any point that it's hot and humid and someone mentions it, I have to say, that's the dry heat. Oh, R.I.P. I cut it. That happened. I did it.
Anyway.
Newt came off. There's Newt.
Those are some of the first. See? Newt's down. You got Newt. Those are some of the first minis I painted.
I haven't done the arm yet, but... So then do you glue Newt to the base?
Let me see.
Or do you just stick it...
Is there more pieces for Newt, or is Newt just there? Is Newt looks like Newt's together?
No, Newt needs an arm.
Oh, well, I would glue...
But do you glue Newt to the base?
Yeah, I think so.
And then do you glue Newt to the base and then glue the arm on? Does it matter? It probably doesn't matter.
I mean, I think if you glue Newt to the base, you have a little bit... you could go either way. I think you'd be fine. I'd glue the arm on, and then the base.
I can't even hardly hold. Look at this arm. Come on, guys.
You got it.
This is just.
You got it.
The tiny swords maker is complaining about how tiny this is. Warm up the screws with hot water.
Oh, that's true. That's a good note. I recently learned that dunk the anything. The warm water loosens that up, makes it a little bit easier to cut. Aww.
What is happening?
Oh, I'm just reading the R.I.P. Bill Paxton. Yep.
I know. Oh, the arm goes. She's saluting. I'm learning so many things when you put the arm on. Yeah.
Why is Newt saluting?
I don't know.
Oh wow. She is saluting. Oh, she does salute in the movie.
Salute. Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, that's super. Oh wow, that's what a cool challenge. Get that. Do you ever use accelerant? I've never used super glue accelerant. People swear by super glue accelerant. Do you guys like super glue accelerant out there when you're building stuff like this? You have to let us know.
Usually base first. Also, it's usually base first. Okay.
Wood filler in the gaps. I don't glue on the base. Because it makes it easier to hold one part. Icing.
So, personal preference is what...
Yeah, I mean, truly.
Truly,
a personal preference. Truly.
Well, now I also have to decide. So they didn't put the sprue dot in the center of the base.
Yep.
So it's like, do I put Newt so that her name is... gosh.
I see it.
Name this way? Or like, do I put Newt so that she's in the center, but then her name isn't?
again, you can assemble it however you want.
Oh, Lord.
So many choices that you didn't think you were going to have to make right now.
I'm an American millennial. You're supposed to give me the task, I follow the steps, and then you give me an A. I don't understand.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, I think I'm getting the... Oh, face. I need a...
Okie dokie, baby. Yeah, sure, you betcha, honey. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go with the blue.
Here we go with the blue. There it is.
Oh boy. Oh gosh.
Oh boy. Oh no. She's gluing.
When you do my accent, it sounds semi-Irish.
I know. It's because I'm hanging out. I hang out with an Irishman half the week. I'm spending it with Michael. Oh no.
Gosh.
Oh
okay.
gosh.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah. Here's my thingy. Let me get that up there. Oh, this guy's coming out pretty good. My little dude. Nope. I want a higher tilt. Let's bend that shoulder right there. What are they saying?
Derek says, I rarely use super glue, but when I do, I accelerate it.
Lovely. Lovely. Does that look like you're holding a sword? Which one looks like he's holding a sword? Oh my gosh.
We can't help you.
I know, you can't see it. Is that closed? Hold on. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, I'm doing
Jesse
that.
says, I use the accelerant in certain situations, but not on the minis.
Oh.
Yeah, I have the same question, Carl. Why not on the minis? I don't even know what you're referring to when you say accelerant, other than lighting things on fire, and I don't think that's what you're referring to. So I'm just like, I use accelerant on bonfires.
On bonfires.
On pyrotechnics. Gorman's just missing his head. Oh, and his hands. Oh, interesting. What's this your turn?
Need to twist the shoulder.
All right, Gorman, here we go.
Do it. Do it.
I'm sweating a little bit.
You're sweating?
Well, duh. This is a big deal. There's people out there that are like, man, I ripped the minis off the sprues. Oh yeah. Wait, is that a thing? No.
My wrist is too high on my guy right now. My wrist is too high. Let me see here. Hold on. I'm gonna do this real quick. Oh, I totally screwed the pooch up on that. I left that up there earlier. Hold on.
I see the hairdryer debate has resurfaced in the live chat.
The hairdryer debate.
Whether you use the hairdryer to dry your base coat. Base coat?
What is everyone saying? Are they fans or no?
Most are not fans, but Zane is like, hey man, I use not all of them, and there's a setting where it's cool air, so it's like you're. But.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, especially if you're farther away, that it won't even. I don't really know because, as you can see, I have hair that's not conducive to hair dryers. So even talking about it makes it start to fluff out.
It's like, whoa, no hair drying for us.
Did you say hair dryer?
Yeah. It goes poof. Yep. Let me transition. Well, I'll transition it here in a second. Let me see if I can add something to this first.
No, Zane, not a fan. A hairdryer. I I don't even know how the timing of that will work with the stream and the chat. It might be like, why did she suddenly say? I have no idea what that's like. Okay, I'm gluing them to the bases first because it feels like a safety net. The base is bigger, if there's a peg and all, it's like, I understand this. I didn't mean to say there's a peg in a hole and I understand this, but
there's a peg in a hole and I understand it. You've already said it. You've committed.
So...
You've committed.
Oh gosh.
I love it.
It's not the size that matters. Next week on Crazy Crafter.
Next week on the Crazy Crafter. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I should add existing. Haha. Haha. Ha ha ha. This is great. I figured it out, Amy. It's gonna be glorious here in a second.
I believe in you. In whatever it is that
I'm doing
on the screen. I believe in your clicking magic.
In my clicking magic? Thanks.
You're welcome.
I believe in my clicking magic too.
Long time watcher, first time writer.
Yeah.
I believe in your clicking magic.
I think I can get it. I just need to make it look.
Oh.
The problem is I'm trying to make everything look purty. I'm trying to make it all look purty too.
As you should.
As it should, right? I feel like that's important. You should make it look purty. If you're not going to make it look purty, what's the point? Got it. Boom. Transitioning. Here we go. Here comes my dude. All right, so this is him so far. I feel like I'm doing an okay job, but he's a little bit more even and like hands a little bit more straighter out and less bend, but I'm also like thinking about the thing I'm most nervous about in creating the with no sword is like trying to visualize where the hand should be to like when you put the sword in his hand, it has to be at like that it's almost completely horizontal and parallel to the ground. So there's like no bend in the elbow. It's kind of reached out because he's definitely like freaked out at this stage near this point in the fight. And he's like stay away from me. So I'm trying to capture that right hand position. But so far, I'm trying to make his face is like, confused. I need to make his face a little bit more terrified. Hold on. I can make his face terrified.
Oh. He's got when you go to the side, not so much, but straight on, he looks like Uncle Iroh went on a diet.
Yeah, a little bit, huh?
Yeah. Of course, I'm looking at it on my tiny.
Okay. Back to the arms. I'm going to the arms. Body. Going to advanced. Yeah, this... man. Oh, is he straighter? I don't know.
I don't think you're allowed to ask that.
No, I'm talking about his posture. That I don't know. I care not about that. I care about his shape. Oh, I've messed up his shape. I need to get his arm better, Amy. His arm is not... His arm is silly. Newt! Look at Newt. Good job. You super glued your first one together.
I did.
Are you happy? How do you feel?
The arm was very hard to hold on to, and I can still kind of see that it's a separate piece. But it's for a board game, so I think it's fine. As long as I can pick it up and move it and the arm doesn't fall off, I think it'll be fine.
He's giving me riffraff.
Yes.
He's giving you riffraff. Oh my goodness. Look at this. All right, what do I have here? What do I need? I'm almost done. And this would be a good if I can get one down today, that's good. I forgot to ask Edgar what he used for the pants and stuff. Although
no.
I like this. What happened?
I dropped the head somewhere. It's so tiny.
Bye. Bye, little head.
Oh, I found it. It's okay. Wood floors.
Wood floors are good.
Nobody panic.
No one panic.
Gosh, this is challenging. Why do they do this to people? What could possibly... How is manufacturing this on a strip with this little head not attached to this body an actual, like benefit to any sort of printing company? I don't understand. Somebody explain it to me. Someone out there, tell me why. Why? Is it more cost effective? I don't understand how. This is
maybe
a gift of me just with
that
all
would
of
be my guess. Maybe more cost effective for them to manufacture, probably.
What? With the
I don't know how.
head?
I don't know.
I'm like, explain it to me. You're like, probably. I'm like, deny.
I didn't do a good job explaining it. No.
I'm just like, no, there is no good answer because it sucks.
I guess it is going to be tilted forward with the point a little bit further. Knuckles a little more rotated.
Oh my gosh. My shoulders are so tense. Ooh.
Yeah. It looks like he's going to have a broken wrist. It looks like his wrist is broken. This is the challenging part about creating the hand and, like, the right hand for the sword. Like, it's... Dude. Oh my god. This is bonkers, Amy.
Zane's suggestion is that the head can be severed. For me, I think it's for me. And I was like, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, that's true.
A headless Gorman. Just glue the head to the base. You're dead anyway.
I think I've got it here. Because this is almost... What do you think, Amy? Take a look at this. Take a look at this and tell me what you think on the stream here. It's coming up. It'll be up here in a second. I think
I can see.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. I mean, yeah. I not bad. Not too shabby. I'm trying to look at the reference photo here. Oh, he's kind of shifted back a little bit in his weight, though. You see that? Man, I haven't captured a little bit of weight shift. And he's right foot forward with the sword. They're both right foot forward with the sword.
I don't know if the stream's cut up, but you're right. It does look like he's got a broken wrist.
I mean, it's hard to, like... The problem, if I don't over accentuate that angle, like, I can't, like, we don't have to bend our wrist that way when we hold the sword, right? But if I want the sword point facing forward for the inanimate object, like, I'm trying to find that balance of
I guess you wouldn't see the hand from that direction without the sword in it anyway.
Right.
So the sword will mask the...
I'm hoping. Oh,
it definitely will, because when you turned it, I'm going to be like, the stream, inside of the stream. Ah! Meta! And then it would go forever. Definitely, like, when you look at it from the side, it doesn't look broken. So, like, as you're rotating it, it's like, oh, yeah.
It's not bad.
Can hold a sword like that. It's not
bad. What I'm curious is, if you look inside the hand and you zoom up close, there's the space in which to filter the handle down into the sword as zoomed in on it. Oh, that's going to be so tiny. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Oh, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting.
How long is his arm?
I don't know. He's 32 millimeters. I don't know what his length at an average height mini of the length of the arm would be. I don't know.
Because with like a 1-inch, so you're saying that a 1-inch pin, don't cross the streams. Sorry,
don't cross the streams. Funny.
I'm just wondering, like, oh, I guess I got a mini right here. Let's see. He's wee. What does it look like with Newt and my sword? Oh gosh. Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh gosh. There.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
What? Let me see. What happened?
It's so big compared to Newt. Like, that's, I mean.
Oh yeah.
Ridiculous.
I'm telling you.
But your mini, is your mini gonna be that small? As small
I
as
don't
Newt?
know. I mean, probably a little bit larger because Newt's smaller. I think because Newt's a kiddo. But you see what I mean? Like the scale is gonna be. It's gonna take. Yeah, it's pretty.
Gosh.
It's that's how small I'm gonna have to go.
You might be on your own. I know you were like, make me a tiny sword.
Yeah, I'm on my own. Oh my gosh.
Godspeed.
We'll
Pray
see.
for you.
I'm gonna do it. That's what I'm doing. I'm making swords. I feel I might do a couple things, Root. I might actually use green stuff, and I might end up sculpting these swords onto a very, very small pin. And also, I don't really need a lot of the handle because it's going to be covered by the hand. So what I really need is a pommel, a knuckle. I don't know.
I got you. Actually, no, damn it. Now I'm thinking about it, and now you're not on your own because I saw it.
I know you're not going to leave. You have not abandoned me in 14 years. You're not going to about to start now.
Fair. You do have a very, very adorable son that tricks me a lot, but.
Oh, it was getting meta there. I went over to the stream, and I'm broadcasting that on the stream, so it was definitely like Inception status.
Don't cross the streams.
I crossed all the streams on that one. Whoa. Okay, that guy's looking pretty saved. I'm gonna go with that dude right now. We're gonna go with that. I think that's gonna be good.
Yeah, see, Zane says, to be fair, in the dioramas, Colin can scale the minis up. And we had that conversation where you were like, I guess I could make the minis bigger, but I'd rather see you make it smaller.
I also want the challenge of trying to make tiny weapons for the scale that that I play, D&D with. I've never things that I've never done before. So that's where my mind's at.
That's fair.
What are you gluing now?
This is Frost.
You're gluing Frost? Nice.
Private Rico Frosty Frost.
Private Rico Frosty Frost. Let me save my guy. I need to save him. Hero. Let's name the hero. What do I name this guy? Duelists? Oh, that guy. Rico! I've named him Duelist 1. Dude.
I want to see some, in the show off your work in the Discord, I want to see some showing off of some baller mini paintings.
Oh, yeah. That would be cool. Post your mini paintings.
Blast us with some mini paintings. Even if you've already shown it to us before.
Put it up there.
Sometimes I miss them.
I'll put it.
Be like, this was one of my favorites, something that makes you happy.
I'll capture a couple right now with these two first ones that I've. These are some very early on ones that I did. Posting them up. Posting them up there. All right.
Michael can put his first mini painting.
Oh
there.
yeah.
We can all go, ooh,
yeah.
Good job.
Yep. He did a great job. It looks really good. I'm gonna I'll put it in the share your work area here, and then we'll dive over before we end the stream today. We'll do one of my favorite parts of the stream, which is heading over and seeing everyone's work.
You should also throw in the chat, there was a debate that happened about when you're painting minis that are topless, do you paint in the nipples or do you not?
Do you not paint in the nipples? I think it's interesting that Hero Forge chooses not to like give guys nipples like on the, like there's no nipples, like can't do nipples, like
yay or nay to the nips.
Yay or nay to the nips, everyone.
In there or don't put them in there.
Yay or nay. Put them in the chat. Yay or nay to the nips. Okay, I'm going to get ready and head over to the Discord so we can check everyone's workout. Let's do it.
I feel like I should open the Discord so I can...
So you can check it out?
Look at the... Yeah, so I'm not looking at it on the tiny phone.
Well, this is a good place to start. You can get ahead. Boom. We'll transition. Hey, we're going to start with something that may look familiar to you.
Where are you starting?
I'm starting with one of your tiny swords.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Here's one of your tiny swords that you've been working on and you posted. These are great. I love all that black. Once you get the silver wire and you're able to interconnect the two together, that's going to look amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. You actually picked, I think, the same for the project today. The same.
I really like that hilt. That's really cool.
The little bell.
This is super cool. This dice tower that Mini Mason posted. He put it on it like a legit turntable, then showing off the dice tower. We'll play that one more time because that's worth checking out again. Mini Mason, this looks awesome. I love this dice tower. This dice tower looks... I love your paint job on it. Your paint job looks ace, as the pickle jar would say. It looks ace. Black and gold. This was... What is this? Black and gold.
Oh, it's because I don't have the silver yet, so I'm like, everybody's just going to have to deal with the never-ending black and gold swords.
This is super cool. This is a project that Carl's working on, this sword. It reminds me of... there is... I don't know if you've seen the documentary. Carl may have seen this documentary, and you may have seen it too. It's on Ulfberht, like the famous Viking sword that is like it's like it's the way they forged it. It was like one of the greatest swords produced and manufactured, given the technology at the time.
Actually, fun fact.
Yes.
Fun fact. In Wisconsin.
He's one
of the only people left that does the traditional forging of the Ulfberht sword.
Yep.
On his property.
And that's where they went into the documentary. They went to him, and he failed at it the first time, I think, right? And then he tried it again, and but he did it. He was able to successfully recreate it. So cool. I wonder how much he charges for a sword like that. How much do you think he charges, Root?
Oh, I bet you he doesn't really sell them. I bet he only makes them on commission, because it's. I mean, maybe. You could try to find one, but.
I'm gonna see I wonder if he sells it.
It is a long and arduous process.
Yeah, it is. That's gonna be an expensive sword.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I think it might be commission based.
For
Man,
sure.
Carl, I love these. I love the idea of a giant sword standing rock. Also inspired by Nat One videos.
Yeah.
Doing his standing. Michael's. You should go over and look at those, because first off, the video starts with Michael showing you the incredible countryside.
Yep.
So if you haven't seen that Nat One video,
you got to go check it out.
Yeah, just watching him wander around with his adorable child.
What an awesome place! Like I'm very, very, there's a reason they were able to get away and like go see family and spend time with them. Like what an awesome area to surround yourself in, and I love the fact that he uses inspiration from the physical surroundings that he's presented with, and how he incorporates that inspiration into his builds. It's really cool.
Yeah, not only that, but the way that Michael does his voiceover work and goes around and shows it. So it's not like, oh, I was inspired by this thing, but he's like, here, let me give you a taste of it so you also can be inspired. Is very, very cool. And when I believe it's his daughter runs up to the standing rock and it just dwarfs her, it is really, it's a sight. It's very cool.
Yep.
Go check it out.
It's a good storyteller with each of these videos. I like the story that comes along with it, and there's a story for every build, and we go along. He does a great job at capturing the journey with that. And I liked all the lore. I didn't know about the lore about the giants throwing the stones, and I loved the lore that was tied in with that walk around too. So this is really cool, Carl. This is looking fantastic. I love the runes back up here on this side. This is looking really cool. I like the runes right here. Ugh.
Yeah, the soon to be like lava, right? Or
is it lava? Is that where it's going to be?
On the ground. I feel like he was talking about
Zane saying, "I want Carl." This is Zane. I want to add LEDs behind the runes and lava.
Oh, that's how that came up.
Oh my gosh. Oh yes, new lighting video tutorial from Zane Morgan Crafts. If you haven't seen it, you got to head on over to Zane Morgan Crafts and subscribe to his awesome channel. He's got some really awesome tips that are great for any crafter. And I really appreciate like they're well put together. They're tight and concise. So go check out Zane Morgan Crafts.
Yes, extremely clear tutorials. Also, great voiceover. It's calming, and it's like, you can do this.
Yep.
Also, don't get sticky stuff on your fingers.
Yeah.
Also, here's a moment of soldering.
Really, the lovely personalities of all of Zane are on full display there. I love it. Anytime you can capture who you are and your voice within the craft is dope. That's kind of the whole point. Look at this from Kevin, Immersive World Crafter. I love the texture that he's getting on this side of this building. That's looking really good. Yes. That's amazing. Is that just foam? I wonder if Kev, we'll have to ask him. We'll have to ask like how he's getting that texture in there. That's so good. Here's our soon to be lady of the hour on Sunday, Tina, working a Mod Podge, like working this this current build here. This is looking amazing. Ah, I love all these trees. Ugh. Yeah, always scary, that Mod Podge stage where you're like, what's gonna happen? But a necessary part of the process. That's such a cool build, Tina. I'm excited. Here's Nate McFarlane's not really crafting related, but amount of cameras, so now he can overhead while I craft. See, that's what I need to do. Very similar idea that you're having here. This little PVC pipe, Nate, I need to do it. Maybe I reach out and see what your measurements are, but like the ability to have the overhead shot is clutch. I need it desperately.
I think I need some sort of magnifier thing that my camera can look through so that it, like, these tiny projects can be I don't have to hold them so close to the camera in order for the. I'll have to think about that, because I tried putting my stand over my stuff and like recording it and seeing what it looked like, and the camera's like every time I move my hands even a little bit. Yeah, so I'm gonna think about it. PVC pipes and things.
Hang it from a batten. Fly it in on a batten.
Yeah, I say as I sit in the guest room of my parents' house of my temporary living situation.
Another shot here of Nate's, or no, it's not Nate. This is Kevin's. This is Kevin's facade here on the side. Added some shingle action down there. Love those shingles. That's looking really cool. Get all the shingles.
Zane Morgan Crafts also has a tutorial on shingles.
On shingling, yeah. Shingles for days. Look at this. This is painted. Carl's sword getting painted up. I love the cracks and the crumbling sword. Oh my god, Carl, this looks so good. It looks so good. Love it. You're doing a great job with this, Carl. Is this video? When is it? Is this a video you're releasing or just for you? Or is this just one of your builds? Like for you, that one. Are you doing a video for this one? I hope so. Zane working on some stairs, making the joke. These are ones that I don't think he printed these. I think he was making the joke that he crafted these. However, he's got some light posts running out of here. That's really cool. Those are looking baller. Love the little railings going up the side here. Zane, this is a really cool stair, curvy stair up to the entrance here. Love the Victorian planters. This stuff that you're seeing in the background here in this picture is stuff that Zane designed. Zane designed these STL files and printed them. Insane. Insane. Can't wait to see that all lit up. Working on an old project. Say again? What happened?
I'm sorry, I scrolled ahead and I saw some minis and I got excited.
You got excited for the minis. What else we got on here? We've got an old project from Tina says she's working on an old project here. What old project is this, Tina? This is pretty cool. It looks like wood flooring underneath. What project is this?
Lit wood floors?
Yeah, it looks great. I love it. The planks look great and then underlit. Super cool. Fire! It is fire. We're marking fire on that. Oh, here's your first mini action. These are the ones that I showed earlier on the stream, but now I don't have to Instagram them. Instahand them. There you go. Some of the Metal Reaper Knights that I threw together. So this, I don't know what I do with the heads. Like the one here on the right, you could have like unhelmed or just bare head, like just an unarmored head, and you can basically piece together. Do you want a shield? Do you want two weapons? And I kind of went with the mace and like this mace this awesome flail here with the shield, and then. I don't know. They're fun. I like them. They're metal. And this, if you can see here, the one on the left, I didn't even paint the base, Amy. I was like, I don't even know what to do with the base, so I didn't even paint it. Goober. I got to go back and paint that.
OG.
It is OG. Oh snap! Here we go.
Oh man!
Look at these minis coming up on the build. Zane, these are dope. I love these.
Dang, I love that sort of metallic-y thing. That is my aesthetic. That is speaking to me.
Yeah, that looks really cool. I'm digging these a lot.
Oh, and the blood drips.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Don't mess with the beholder. They will kill you. They will kill you. Oh my goodness. Yes, here you are, gluing stone by stone. I love.
Yeah, where's Sonder with the update on the individual stone paintings?
No. Oh, I love the window framing here in stone, Tina. That's really cool. Ah. This circle jig. I either need to make a circle jig or get one from Shifting Lands, because having a perfect circle to sculpt off and build around would be pretty nice. Tina, I love this. This is looking great. Love it. First set of mini painting, just Primerite. Lord Mugglestone.
Just crazy. Whoa! Look at those.
Whoa! Those are looking cool. Those are looking cool. I'm digging it.
You guys had talked about on the stream with Sebastian and the sci-fi theme, like role-playing games that are sort of sci-fi oriented.
Yep.
And we played a campaign of Shadowrun.
Okay.
Which was super, super fun, and it had that very Harrison Ford Blade Runner feeling to it.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh man, but the steampunky thing too, and some of these minis would be really amazing. In
a lot of fun to play.
In a sort of sci-fi.
Look at this.
RPG.
These are fun to paint. I just want to paint it.
Oh my gosh.
So much fun.
Look at them all stuck on top of this. I mean, that's smart. Mm-hmm. Some of my friends use like tacky in a pill bottle. And then they hold the...
That's what I do too.
That's what else does.
That's what I use too. These are great. These are all fantastic. Love the fact that we got to see some of your guys' mini action out there. That looks absolutely fantastic, y'all. In addition to your builds, which are always looking mighty fine, mighty awesome. Thank you all for sharing. Those.
Yes, I love this. Is my favorite part.
Yep, mine too. Well, how many did you get glued together there, Root?
3.
Hey, that's really good. That's awesome. Insta-hand.
There's Frosty.
I need to create like a special... I like Frosty's looking good. Are you going to paint these, or are you going to leave them as is?
Will there be paint in that box you're sending me for my birthday?
I don't know.
Can you? Okay, so question.
Yeah.
Can I use acrylic-based paint on this stuff? Because I definitely have like a bin of acrylic paints. Well, my mom does. My stuff's in storage because pandemic. That's where all my shit is. But we paint like on canvases with acrylic paint. Can you paint?
You 100% can. There's actually a recent video I can send to you about... There's a lot of videos out there about using... If I don't have mini paints, can I just use acrylic-based paint and paint the mini? And the answer is 100% you can. So you have paint already. You just need like a couple of small brushes, and you could totally start going to town on these.
Maybe. I will think about
it. Do it.
I've already been on the emotional roller coaster of clipping and gluing them today. I am not making promises I cannot keep about painting minis, especially since I'm helping make absolutely micro-sized swords for some duelists.
They will, you know. I mean, you've shown that you can do one. I think you can do another. You can go smaller. You can go smaller.
I was gonna go bigger. Or go home. Isn't that the same?
No, you don't have to go. No, I mean, you're already home. You're already at home, so you don't have to go anywhere. You just stay.
More stay at home.
Yeah, more stay at home. More stay at home. Brr. Well, I got one mini designed on the stream today. I need to go in and I need to see if Edgar can share his. I need to see if he saved it at all, and if not, then it's okay. I can.
Then dang.
Then I can just go in and do that. What the cool thing about that is, if you guys come up with a design for the minis, you can easily send me the link to open them, and I can, I could start having be a cool way to maybe gauge the rest of you guys out there. Send me your builds of the Duelist with that image. Like maybe I'm like, that print is dope, and I end up using that STL because I could do that as well. Be a fun way to do. Interact, and another way to interact and engage with you guys out there, get you guys involved in the builds as well. More so than you guys already are, because every diorama so far, it's super cool having everyone help and give me some amazing suggestions and ideas, because that's how I like to build. Like, I'm not just like, I have all of the answers and I will craft. No, I don't. Like that's been an amazing part of this community, utilizing just everyone is so talented, like Amy has mentioned many times on the stream today. It's great having your guys' input and feedback too.
You didn't throw a picture of us trying to stab each other up there.
Oh, well, it's very easy to do. I will do this.
You could just take the one from
I'm going to use the one from earlier. I was actually, I didn't load it. I have the broadsword SPR where I rolled my ankle about 8 years ago.
Oh gosh, no.
But you can't even tell that I rolled it. You can't even tell that I rolled it. I mean, a little bit, but not much. I kept going. I'm going to share it right now.
This one. I can put it on the Discord.
There you go. Oh, yeah. Did you put it on the Discord?
Here I go. Ready?
Put it up there.
Should I put it in share your work?
Put it in the
random chatter.
Random chatter. Put it in random chatter. Put it in the random chatter. We'll transition over. We'll see the Discord. There it is. There it is. Transitioning over.
That's some old school.
This is some old school Amy Root and Colin Brescia action on the stage in Monterey, California, where we fought for 45 minutes straight.
45 minutes.
45 minutes straight. This is a part of one of the. It's a summer workshop, an intensive that Amy and I teach at frequently, and this was Amy's first summer arts, I think, 2012, right? That was her first summer arts.
Yeah, I think it was.
And we did a Rapier Dagger workshop, and this is us on stage rehearsing our little bit of R&D choreo as we were prepping for the lecture demo for everyone, where it was really fun. We got to rehearse and put together rapier dagger, unarmed, broadsword, single sword. Holy crap, we did a lot. We did
all of them except no, you guys did sword and shield.
No, that was next year. That
no,
wasn't that was 2013. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, wait, I got it. Don't go anywhere. This is gonna be funny.
What one are you putting more?
This is my favorite
I know which one. I know which one you're putting up there. I know exactly which one. That was a really good fight.
That was a really good fight.
That was
a solid
baller fight.
I kicked your butt.
You did kick my butt. It was great.
That was a good one.
That was great. We utilized the back, like grabbing the backpack, ripping around with the backpack. There was a lot. It ended with a knee to the face, which was pretty dope. It was pretty epic.
It did.
That was also when the Foley workshop that was happening. They did live Foley for it later. Did. So they did live sound effect action for that fight too, which is pretty cool.
My favorite of that was we didn't really hear ahead of time what the live Foley for that fight was going to be.
Right.
And there's a part in it where I hit Colin really hard in the groin. And we hadn't heard it yet. And what they did was they took a plastic bottle and that was empty. And then they wrapped like a wet towel around it. And they like slammed it. So it had this like thwap, but also this crunch when I hit him in the balls. And it was so hard not to crack up on stage live hearing that sound. It sounded horrible. It sounded like he should have died. Like that's how bad it sounded. It was so bad. It was so cool. Bad. It's so good. It was cool. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun. It was a little peekaloo into our lives and our professional work together, where we get to playfully beat each other up, pretend like. I think not pictured is your hand after I stabbed you in 2013.
I mean I stabbed you in that hallway fight.
Yeah, but that wasn't. Oh yeah, that one you got. That's like, I feel like. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but no. I feel like when that tag on your hand, that was the worst I've tagged someone. Bad. That was the worst I've ever tagged someone.
Because that one went like I don't want to gross out the feed, but content warning. Gonna talk about being stabbed. Take a 30 seconds wait if you don't want to listen to it. All right, here I go. You know the webbing between your fingers? So sometimes on the sword there's like a gap, and Colin's like sword went between
I found the gap.
The webbing in my fingers.
On a punch thrust.
Yeah, and I had gloves on, so luckily I was just bleeding into the glove, and it was like, yeah, it's all good. And then later when we took the glove off, it was like, oh.
No, it was one of those moments. It was one of those moments when it happened, and you feel it as the person inflicting that unfortunate damage, right? And you certainly feel it as the person receiving it. But when I did it, I felt her hand, and I was like, I'm gonna listen. We were working with our colleague at the time, and like, I like leaned over to her like when our colleague was busy doing something else, and I was just like, "Are you all right? Like, I got you. Like, I know I tagged you hard. Like, I got you. Like, are you all right?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm like, I don't believe you at all. Like, I know I just jacked your hand, but that's all right."
It was accidents happen.
Accidents
We're in
happen.
Management, right?
We are.
It had not happened before, and we've done it a lot of times. And
that was also we were also trying to build that up to a performance tempo for the students very quickly, and that's why we don't do that.
I think my favorite oopsies was the two of us doing a single sword fight, and we were trying to do the rolling. So I was trying to disarm his sword in the middle of a cut. When I hit it, he's supposed to flip it to me, but if I hit it funky, it doesn't turn. And he's like extended, and I hit it, and he went to flip it, and it didn't flip at all, and it just threw straight at my chest and went boink.
Yep.
But of course, it like didn't hurt him because it was blunted and we were practicing. But it was the funniest thing to watch him just like let go of the sword and it to just go boink, boink. And like
bounce off your chest.
Right off my chest. It's like that's not how that's supposed to go.
Nope.
That was really funny.
And now
that one was not a stabbing; it just bounced off of me.
And now we get to try to recreate the tiniest swords we've ever worked with before.
Yeah. This one would stick harder than that.
Yeah, that is true. The little swords would definitely stick harder than the ones we work with. Thankfully. Now I want to try to toss the mini swords.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's what I say. We make a little dartboard.
Yep.
It's a tiny little sword dartboard.
Well, Amy, this has been an absolute joy. The first, but certainly not the last. Thank you for coming on the stream and hanging out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thanks for the next time. We'll have to we will definitely have to do one of the. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be the next time, but whenever I'm looking forward to the tiny sword tutorial. That'll be fun because we'll have a little bit more time to play around. We'll be able to change, like, scale up a little bit, work around with it. I don't know. My goal is maybe even be able to. I started messing around with a little bit the other day of like trying to sculpt a swept hilt. It failed miserably, by the way, but I'm gonna get there. I think I need to have a little bit of basically like wire shaping underneath of it, like a very thin gauge wire to sculpt and shape it to try to do super fancy stuff. But
well, I've been through a lot of swept hilt failures, and like now I have some pretty decent ones going with the wire. Really so ones. If you wanted any like helpful hints about how to get that to work, depending on the size of your sword, toothpicks are really helpful in molding shapes. Yep. Wrapping it around the curve.
I will definitely be hitting you up for all the sword tips. Ha ha.
I see your point.
Touche. Touche. All right. Thank you
all.
On that note, thank you all.
Where's Michael for the dad jokes?
I know. Thank you all for joining us today on the live stream. Tune in on Friday. I'll have some miniatures printed up, and we'll get to crafting, and I'll be painting some miniatures up. I'll have a little bit better idea of the scale and kind of what the diorama, like the dimensions are too. So talk a little bit more about that. But we'll continue the Duelists fights on foam, and then Sunday, join us for Tina Martin's on the Sunday live stream. We are so excited, and I know it's gonna be a blast. We're gonna have a lot of fun with Tina. What an amazing crafter that we get to have on the stream. We are thrilled and blessed. But until then, Amy, be well. I'm looking forward to. It's been far too long since we've been able to. Huh?
Fart.
It's been too long since we've been able to actually share a space that's not a virtual setting. So looking forward to being able to see you and hang out again in person one day soon, hopefully.
Yes.
But until then, we will happily take you on the stream and hang out with you and craft with you anytime.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Feel very blessed. Lots of high-level talent on here.
Oh yeah, so. Oh yeah, highbrow is what we do with here. All right, y'all. Till the next time, be sure to craft your passion daily, and we'll see you all on Friday. Bye, y'all.